Well, it's up to Gary Gentry for the New York Mets, and he'll be opposed by Billy Champion in the final game here between the Mets and Phillies on a good day for baseball. We have plenty of room here at the ballpark, so if you haven't formulated your plans yet for this afternoon, come on out and join us. Pleasant day, a breeze blowing out to left field, and a big ball game for the New York Mets. Back from now on, every game a big one. The Mets close out this homestand against Chicago and Montreal, and then they have their final homestand coming up. That'll be against the Pittsburgh Pirates, a 5-game series starting on the 19th. That's a twilight doubleheader on the 19th at 5 o'clock. The game will get off. Pittsburgh on Saturday the 20th, an afternoon game, and a doubleheader on Sunday. Then the final 2 games of the year here at Shea to come your way on the 23rd and 24th, both night games, and they'll be against the St. Louis Cardinals. Right now, the leadoff batter for the Phillies stepping in the batter's box, and here to call the play-by-play, Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Ralph Gannon. Hello again, everybody. It's right-hand batter and second baseman Terry Harmon up to lead off. For the Phillies, he's batting .229. He has 14 runs batted in. Gary Gentry has a record this year against the Phillies of 2 wins and no losses, and that is his lifetime record against the Phils. This is Gentry's first year in the major league. His first pitch is outside for a ball. Jerry Grody is the Met catcher. Don Clendenon is playing first base. Ken Boswell is at second. Bud Harrelson is at shortstop, and Wayne Garrett is at third. Art Shamsky in left field, Tommy Agee in center field, and Ron Swoboda in right. This is a fastball in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. Frank Sikora is the umpire behind the plate. Dave Davidson at first, Paul Pryor at second. The crew chief, Tony Benson, is around at third. Here's a 1-1 delivery. Breaking pitch that misses the outside corner. Tony Taylor kneeling in the on-deck circle. Running the ball club from the coaching lines at third, manager George Myatt of the Phils, and on the lines at first, Billy DeMars. The 2-1 delivery, swung on and hit on the ground to Harrelson at short. A play at first in time as Harrelson moved to his left to glove that ball on the run and throw to first in time to get Terry Harmon. In the previously played 3 games of this series, the leadoff man in the ball game for the Phils got a base hit. But Harrelson saved that one from going through, and Tony Taylor is up. Tony Taylor's playing third base today. He's hitting .262. He has 2 homers and 25 runs batted in. He's a right-hand batter. He's playing third base because Johnny Briggs is in military service for today. Normally the center fielder, so that Darren Johnson moved from third out into left. And Taylor's in at third base. This pitch is in for a called strike. Started him off with a slider. Richie Allen moves up on deck. Actually, the regular center fielder for the Phillies is Larry Heisel. He's out with a sprained hand. There's a breaking pitch swung on and line on the left field line. Could be extra base hits for Tony Taylor. He's around first on his way to second. Here's Shamsky's throw, not in time. A stand-up double. So Taylor has doubled with 1 man out, and Richie Allen is coming up. Cleon Jones is not in the Met lineup again today. Cleon has not played in this series. He bruised a hand in San Diego on the recent road trip, and he is expected to be able to play tomorrow night against the Chicago Cubs. Manager Gil Hodges figured that he'd rather have him sit out this series and have him ready for the Cubs. All right, Richie Allen is up, hitting .297 for the season with 29 home runs and 68 runs batted in. Gary Gentry off the stretch. Here is the pitch. It is high for a ball. Johnny Callison is on deck. Pittsburgh Pirates again this afternoon are playing the Chicago Cubs in Chicago. The Pirates have taken 3 in a row. Here is the 1-0 delivery. Swung on line into left for a base hit. That'll score Tony Taylor. He is around third, and he's coming home. Shamsky's throw goes to second. Allen turns and holds with a single to left. A run batted in, and the Phillies are leading by a score of 1-0. The Pirates and the Cubs will be starting in just 2 or 3 minutes in Chicago. They play their Sunday singles at 1:15 Chicago time, which is 2:15 New York time. Dick Selma is warming up for the Chicago Cubs for the afternoon. And it is Bob Moose for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Bob Moose, Dick Selma. We'll keep you posted on the progress of that game as we go along with this one. Here's the pitch to Callison, and it is in there for a called strike. Callison hitting .261, 14 homers and 48 runs batted in. This is the final appearance of the Phillies in New York this season, this game this afternoon. Clendenon holds against Richie Allen. Here's Gary Gentry's pitch. Swung on, foul off to the left side, out of play. 2 strikes to John Callison. Gentry beat the Phillies twice this year, both in Philadelphia. 2-0. The first time, and 6-3 in the next time. Make that 1-0. And 6-3. Breaking pitches inside, it's 1-2. Nominated to open the series tomorrow night, the 2-game set for the Mets, Jerry Koosman. For the Chicago Cubs, Bill Hands. Gary Gentry now sets up. The pitch is swung on it on the ground to third. Up with it is Garrett. He throws to Boswell. Has one. The throw to first is not in time, and it's on by and over into the stand. So that second base will be awarded to John Callison. They got the force at second, then Boswell trying to make the relay. Threw the ball in the dirt and on by Clendenon, and it bounded up into the lower field boxes behind first base, which gives Callison an extra base. You cannot presume the double play, so there'll be no error charged on the fact that Callison beat the relay, but there will be an error charged on the fact that he is awarded second base. It is on Boswell on the throw. Force on Richie Allen with 5-4 if you're scoring. Callison on having hit into the force play and goes to second on Boswell's error. That brings up Darren Johnson, right-hand batter. Here's a swing and a foul ball out of play. Johnson's hitting .260, 16 homers and 68 runs batted in. Ron Stone moves up on deck. By the way, Amos Otis, who was called up from the Mets AAA Farm Club at Tidewater, Virginia, after they were eliminated from the International League playoffs, is here. Otis drove up, and he has arrived and is in uniform. Here's a pitch that is low for a ball. Jim Gosker arrived yesterday. Mike Jorgensen has arrived, so has Bob Heisel. Bob Heiss. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Curveball hit in the air to deep right and over near the corner. Svoboda has a lot of time. He gets over there and makes the catch. Well, the side is out as the Phillies get a run on 2 hits and an error and a man left. In the middle of the first inning, the score is the Phils 1 and the Mets coming to bat.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Harry Von Zell with a message from the Government Educational Foundation.
When you buy a house or a car, you pretty much read every word in your mortgage papers or your order form. Why then, when you have an investment in freedom, don't you study the contract you have with the United States of America? Every American is a contract citizen of the United States. We live under laws which we permit to be passed. We carry on our day-to-day activities under regulations and ordinances approved by our elected officials. But behind all of these statutes is a document many know about, but few have ever really studied, the Constitution of the United States. Here is your opportunity to get this living work without cost or obligation. For your copy of the United States Constitution, write to Law and Order, Box 1627, Washington, D.C., zip 20013. Law and Order, Washington, D.C., Box 1627, zip 20013.
A public service message from the Government Educational Foundation.
21-year-old Billy Champion. He's a right-hander, 6 feet 4 inches tall, 178-pounder from Shelby, North Carolina. He has won 5 games and lost 7 for the Phils in this, his first Major League season. Last year at Portsmouth, he won 15 and lost 5. Against the New York Mets this year, he has won none, and he has lost 1. He lost 1-0 at Philadelphia on June 17th. He allowed 4 hits and only the 1 run in 8 innings. He was dueling against Gary Gentry on that occasion, and Gentry won it 1-0. Now Tommy Agee is up to lead off for the Mets. He is greeted by a rousing reception by the Mets fans. Hitting .278 with 24 homers and 67 runs batted in, and the pitch is high and tight. Knocked him down, and it is ball 1. Wayne Garrett is coming up. Here's a swing and a high drive to deep left. It's way back and could be. Darren Johnson goes to the wall, and it is a home run for Tommy Agee. Tommy Agee with his 25th home run of the year. That is a career high for him. This one going to left field. His last one is at Los Angeles against Claude O'Skeen. Tommy Agee. Now Wayne Garrett is coming up. The score is tied 1-1. Wayne Garrett's a left-hand batter. Hitting .226 with a homer and 32 runs batted in. The pitch is high for a ball. Billy Champion with a pitch to Garrett, and it is in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Now a chant of "Let's Go Mets" here in the bottom half of the first inning. The score is tied 1-1 with Garrett at the plate. Clendenon is on deck. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Swung on it on the ground to first base. Taken by Richie Allen. Goes to the bag. Makes the play unassisted. There's one away. Don Clendenon, the first baseman, is coming up. He is hitting .260. He has 12 homers and 43 runs batted in. For the Chicago Cubs, today would have been Bill Hand's normal turn. Bill Hand normally in the pitching rotation of the Cubs would have pitched today against the Pirates, but manager Leo DeRocher is holding him over one day to have Hands open against the Mets here tomorrow night. That pitch is high for a ball. 1-0. So it'll be Hands and Holtzman in the two-game set for Chicago, Kuzman and Seaver for the Mets. There's a pitch in for a called strike. It's 1-1. Here's a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Somebody pointed out to manager Gil Hodges yesterday that the Mets have 5 doubleheaders to play in the month of September, and said, "Who are you going to pitch?" He said, "Tom Seaver." This will be a 1-2 delivery. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Champion gets his first strikeout, 2 Mets away, and Art Shamsky is coming up. Shamsky is hitting .298, 11 homers and 36 runs batted in. Here's the pitch, and it's outside for a ball. 1-0. Ken Boswell moves out to the on-deck circle now. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. It's 1-1. The Mets won, the Phillies won in the bottom of the first. Phillies have Richie Allen playing first base, Terry Harmon at second, Don Money at short, and Tony Taylor at third. There's a swing and a high drive to deep right. Going back is Collison across the warning track to the wall. It is a home run for Art Shamsky. Art Shamsky with his 12th home run. His last one was off Jim Bunning in Los Angeles. So Shamsky now sends the Mets out in front by a score of 2-1. With 2 men out, Ken Boswell is coming up. Boswell has been swinging a red-hot stick. In his last 32 times up, Boswell has had 15 base hits. His average for the season is .261. He had 3 homers and 23 runs batted in. Champion pitch is high and away for a ball. So the Mets have taken the lead on 2 solo home runs here in the bottom half of the first inning. One by Agee, one by Shamsky. Here's a swing and a fly ball to center. And coming up now is center fielder Ron Stone to make the catch. Side is out. The Mets got 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors and none left. At the end of an inning, the score is the Mets 2 and the Phillies 1. Well, here's a note of interest for all you senior citizens who look forward to spending a pleasant afternoon at Shea Stadium watching the Mets in action. The last of 4 senior citizens days this season is scheduled for this coming Thursday afternoon, that's September 11th, when the Mets take on the Montreal Expos at 2:05 p.m. in the finale of a 3-game series. All senior citizens 60 years of age and over will be admitted to Shea Stadium that day for a 50-cent service charge. So come on out for a day's relaxation at the ballpark, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you. That date again is Thursday afternoon, September 11th, this coming Thursday, and the Mets will be meeting the Montreal Expos in a single game starting at 2:05. We're into the exciting days of September with the Mets in the pennant race. So senior citizens 60 years of age and over will be admitted on Thursday to Shea Stadium for a 50-cent service charge. Gary Gentry has been staked now to a 1-run lead. Coming into today's game, the Chicago Cubs lead in the East. They have won 84 and lost 55. The Mets are in second place. They've won 79 and lost 57. The Mets trail the Cubs by 3 1/2 games, only 2 games in the loss column. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in third place. They have won 73 and lost 61. They're 8 1/2 games back of the Chicago Cubs, and they are 5 games back of the New York Mets. The Cardinals are 10 games back of the Cubs. Up to lead off now is Ron Stone, center fielder, left-hand batter. Gentry's pitch is low for a ball. By the way, San Diego last night defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers for the 3rd consecutive night by a score of 3-1. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Breaks in there for a called strike. Ron Stone is hitting .250 with 1 homer and 24 runs batted in. The Dodgers have now dropped 2 1/2 games back of the Western Division leading San Francisco Giants. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Breaks inside low. It's 2-1. In the West, San Francisco is on top. Cincinnati is second, a game and a half back. The Dodgers are 2.5 back. Atlanta is 3. Houston is 5.5. Then San Diego is 34.5 games out. They have already been mathematically eliminated. Here's a swing and a high fly ball to left center field. Shamsky and Agee. Who's going to take it, fellas? Shamsky. Oh, there's one away, and catcher Dave Watkins will be the batter. He's hitting .177, 3 homers and 9 runs batted in. All right, here are the warm-ups in the National League and scores. For Pittsburgh, it's Bob Moose, 10-2, and for the Chicago Cubs, Dick Selma, 12-6. For Atlanta, Ron Reed, 14-9. Against Cincinnati, George Culver, 5-6. Montreal, nothing. St. Louis coming to bat. Bill Stoneman, 8-16 against Steve Carlton, 16-7. Pitch is low and away for a ball. The Giants are at Houston later. The Dodgers are at San Diego again later this afternoon. The American League at the end of 2 innings. Cleveland 3, the Yankees 2. Al Downing relieved by Bill Burback. He's getting a lot of work in the second inning. Pitch is inside for a ball. Luis Tiant for Cleveland. He's 8-17. The end of an inning, the Boston Red Sox won. The Washington Senators nothing. Jim Lonborg 7-8 against Jim Hannon 5-5. Baltimore at Detroit. It's Dave McNally 17-6 against Denny McClain, who's won 22 games and lost 6. Here's a 2-0 pitch right down the pipe. It's 2-1. Minnesota is at Oakland in a later start. The Chicago White Sox are at California in a later start, and Kansas City is at Seattle in a later start. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 2. Minnesota defeated Oakland by a score of 8-6 yesterday. How many innings, Artie? 18. 18 innings. Minnesota defeating Oakland, so that the Twins are now 7 1/2 games ahead of the second place Oakland A's in the Western Division of the American League. In the Eastern Division, Baltimore is 13.5 ahead of Detroit. Breaking pitch outside. The count goes full at 3-2 now to Watkins with 1 man out, nobody on base. The Mets are leading the Phillies by a score of 2-1. Here's the payoff pitch. Foul back, out of play. Yesterday, the Mets defeated the Phillies 3-0. The Pittsburgh Pirates swamped the Chicago Cubs 13-4. Montreal beat the St. Louis Cardinals and Bob Gibson 3-2. San Francisco beat Houston by a score of 7-6. Cincinnati beat Atlanta 2-1, and San Diego beat the Dodgers 3-1. Yesterday and last night in the National League. Payoff pitch to Watkins. Swung on and missed. Gentry strikes him out. 2 away, and Don Money's coming up. He's hitting .224. He has 5 homers and 38 runs batted in. In the American League yesterday and last night, the Yankees beat Cleveland 1-0. Detroit beat Baltimore 5-4. The Red Sox over Washington 9-5. Minnesota beat Oakland 8-6 in 18 innings. The Cal Angels beat the White Sox 2-1, and Kansas City beat Seattle 6-2. Slow curveball over the head of right-hand batter Don Money. It's ball 1. Minnesota Twins in the Western Division of the American League have slowly widened that gap over the Oakland A's. The A's, of course, have been hurt by injuries. Swinging a foul ball back and out of play. They've never been exactly the same since Blue Moon Odom went out of action. One of their real frontline powers, and he is apparently out for the rest of the season. Rick Mundy also with a broken bone. This will be a 1-1 delivery. And it is in there for a call strike. It's 1-2. There are all sorts of observations being made these days, philosophically and otherwise, about the New York Mets and the kind of season they've had. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. It's agreed by all observers that regardless of what happens to the New York Mets, they have had the most exciting season of all the major league teams up to right now. Because this sort of performance was not expected. They finished last year in 9th place, 1 game ahead of Houston. Here's a pitch that breaks high and away. It's out full at 3-2 now on Money. So Gary Gentry went 3-2 to Watkins. He's gone 3-2 to Money with 2 men out, nobody on base. Jerry Grody sends out the sign. Here's the payoff pitch to the number 8 man in the order. Swung on foul back out of play, and the count holds full at 3-2. Billy Champion with the jacket on there on deck. Alan Lewis of the Philadelphia Inquirer had an interesting observation in his story today about the New York Mets and the position that they hold in the National League standings, and we'll get to that in a moment. Here's a payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Gentry strikes him out to retire the side. 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts. No error, no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. In the middle of the second inning, score is the Mets 2 and the Phillies 1.
This is Bill Cosby. When I was going to college, I realized that many middle-class and upper-class college students didn't realize what was going on in the poverty area. And so, when it came time to teach children from the poverty area, they couldn't very well communicate with them. You have to learn how to communicate with kids who would probably never make it because they were missing out on a good education. Now, today, college kids know what's happening. Now, if you're one of these college graduates who understands the ballgame and wants to change the score, think about joining the Teacher Corps. It's 2 years of tough work in poverty area schools and communities, plus a tuition-free master's degree with $75 a week. Sounds challenging? You better believe it. Write Teacher Corps, Washington, D.C., 20202.
In Chicago, the Pittsburgh Pirates have scored a run. They lead the Cubs by a score of 1-0 at the end of a half inning. Right here, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
You're listening to New York Mets Baseball from WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial in Saratoga Springs, New York.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Kiner and Bob Murphy at Shea Stadium in New York, and Ron Swoboda will be up to lead off for the Mets. We had said the Philadelphia Inquirer had a baseball story saying that the Mets are in second place in the East, despite the fact that every team behind them in the standings has better men at every position than do the Mets. Here's a swing and a foul ball off to the right side, out of play. I would not exactly agree with that particular analysis. It is a fact that the New York Mets have played this season as a 25-man squad. They've been able to platoon almost entirely without losing any discernible strength. Here's a pitch high for a ball. It's 1-1. Ron Swoboda is hitting .242. He has 6 homers and 41 runs batted in. That pitch is high for a ball. And that sends catcher Dave Watkins out to the mound. The point is that the Mets have been pretty well backed up at every position so that Gil Hodges has been able to make his moves. Have a ball player in there while he's hot, and when he starts to cool off, get him out of there. First base, he's had Cranepool, and he's had Clendenin. He's had, at second, Ken Boswell, and Al Weiss, and Wayne Garrett. There's a breaking pitch high. 3-1. He's had Harrelson Weiss at shortstop. He's had Bobby Fowle and Ed Charles and Wayne Garrett at third. He has had Jones in left and Agee in center consistently. Here's a 3-1 pitch. It is high. It's a walk. Issued to Ron Swoboda. So he goes to first, and that'll ring up Jerry Grody. He's really been swinging a hot bat of late. Al Widmer, the pitching coach of the Philadelphia Phillies, has gone to the mound. Al Widmer wants a word with young Billy Champion. Jerry Grody has 10 runs batted in his last 10 games. His 38 runs batted in for the season is a club record for a Met catcher. Jesse Gonder held the previous record with 35 runs batted in 1964. Grody's overall batting average is .245 with 6 home runs. His home run yesterday gave the Mets their first run. He's a right-hand batter. He's the number 7 man in the order. The Mets are leading by a score of 2-1. Phillies have to protect against the sacrifice possibility. Here's a pitch and it's high for a ball. He was ready to swing away. Richie Allen holding against the run. He came off in front of runner Ron Swoboda at first. The edge of the grass at third. Tony Taylor retreats one step. Grody's had 5 game-winning RBIs, all in August and September. That pitch is high for a ball. It's 2-0. Last year, you'll recall that Grody was the National League's all-star catcher. He had a great first half last year. Tony Taylor calls time, comes over for a word with the 21-year-old right-hander Billy Champion. Atlanta is at Cincinnati, and George Culver has been relieved by Clay Carroll for the Cincinnati Reds in the very first inning of the ball game, with Atlanta still batting. 2-0 delivery, and it is high. Champion goes behind 3-0 to Grody with Bud Harrelson on deck. Eddie Yost on the coaching lines at third, and Yogi Berra at first for the Mets. Here's a pitch that is low, and it's a walk to Grody. So, the Mets have runners at first and second. Nobody out, and Bud Harrelson coming up. Switch hitter batting left. Harrelson's hitting .237. He has 20 runs batted in. We're going to get some action down in the bullpen for the Philadelphia Phillies. It's going to be John Boozer. John Boozer is up and throwing in the Philly bullpen. Now, the Phillies have to protect against the sacrifice despite the fact that the pitcher, Gary Gentry, is on deck. Now, time is called for a moment as Eddie Yost wants some direct communication with Harrelson. He figures that Harrelson doesn't have the sign. So Yost called time and came down to deliver it directly. The Mets are leading by a score of 2-1. They have runners at first and second with nobody out here in the bottom half of the second inning. Champion off the stretch. Runners lead first and second. Here's the pitch, and it is in there for a call strike. He didn't offer to bunt it. Harrelson yesterday was 3 for 3, and he had 2 doubles. He's had 9 doubles this year and 6 triples. And he has been a wonder with the glove. Bud Harrelson. Here's a swing and a ground ball to short. Money up. Goes over to Harmon for one to throw to first, not in time. And moving on to third is Swoboda. So it'll be runners at first and third with 1 man out. The force went Don Money to Terry Harmon. His throw on, trying to complete the relay, pull Richie Allen off, and Harrelson becomes the base runner. Gary Gentry is coming up. He is 6 for 59. He has one double. He is hitting 102. Gentry has not batted in a run yet in his major league career. He'd have an opportunity right here with a runner at third. Runners lead, Champion off the stretch. Deals a pitch in there for a called strike. Tommy Agee is on deck for the Mets. Atlanta got 4 runs in the top half of the first inning. So going to the bottom of the first, Atlanta 4 and Cincinnati coming to bat. The Cubs got a run in the bottom of the first. It's the Pirates 1, the Cubs 1 at the end of an inning. Here's a swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Gary Gentry. Dick Selma is pitching for the Chicago Cubs this afternoon. He's won 12 and lost 6. Bob Moose is pitching for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's won 10 and lost 2. Pirates are coming up in the top of the second. The score is tied, 1-1. 2-strike delivery. Foul back and out of play. The count holds at 2 strikes. Champion checks the runners. Here's a 2-strike delivery. Swung on and missed strike 3. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Champion. 2 Mets away, and Agee's coming up. He homered in the first inning. When the Chicago Cubs leave New York, they go to Philadelphia for a brief series and then on into St. Louis for a weekend series against the Cardinals. Here's a pitch that is in for a called strike. So, next weekend, the Cubs will be playing the Cardinals. The Mets will be playing the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Pitch to Agee. In there for a strike. It's a 2-strike count. So with the Mets trading the Cubs by 3.5 games, you ask a veteran observer how he figures the race, and he says, tell me first how the 7 games between the Cubs and Cards will come out and how the 9 games between the Mets and the Pirates will come out. There's a lot to be done yet. That is low and away. It's 1-2 to Agee. Swoboda is the runner at third. Harrelson is the runner at first. That weekend of September 19th, 20, 21st, the Pirates will be in here at Shea for 5 games in 3 days in the same weekend. The Cubs and the Cards will be playing a 4-game series. Throw to first, and Harrelson's back in safely. Swoboda holding at third. This is a 1-2 pitch to Tommy Agee. Throw to first, again not in time. The Mets are leading 2-1. Foul back and out of play. The count holds at 1-2 now to Agee. The Mets fans at Shea Stadium have learned to play the scoreboard game. They keep an eagle eye on that scoreboard that keeps track of the Pittsburgh-Chicago game. Here's a swing and a ground ball to third, taken by Tony Taylor. He goes to second for the force. That retires the side. As he got Harrelson sliding in there. It is no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 walks and 2 left. And at the end of 2 full innings of play, the score is the Mets 2 and the Phillies 1.
Hi, this is Bob Walton at Walton Sports Shop, urging you to stop in and see us when you need camping equipment. Now that vacation time is here, have you found that in checking over your equipment that you need something additional? Then stop in and see the wide selection we have to offer. Walton's carries pack frames, canteens, and mess kits. If this is your first year of tenting, then be sure that you see Walton's for all styles of tents, air mattresses, and Coleman stoves and lanterns. Walton's carries a full line of famous name sleeping bags. Of course, at Walton's, hunters can find everything in one convenient location: guns, ammunition, and hand-loading equipment. and rifle scopes to make those long shots surer and safer. For the golfers, be sure to visit Walton's Par 3 room where you'll find a complete line of golf equipment. Shoes, clubs, bags, carts, and a rainproof jacket for just $9.95. A complete line of equipment for all sports is what you'll find at Walton Sports Shop, Lake Avenue in Saratoga, where sportsmen cater to sportsmen.
The New York Mets leading the Philadelphia Phillies by a score of 2-1, and in Chicago, the Pirates and Cubs are tied 1-1 at the end of an inning. Here for the play-by-play, Ralph Kiner.
Okay, thank you, Lindsey Nelson, and hi, everyone. Billy Champion will lead off for the Phillies against starting pitcher Gary Gentry for the Mets. Gary making his 29th start. Champion's had 5 hits and 30 times, up a right-hand batter, and the first pitch is swung on a miss, strike one. Pirates got their 1 run in the first inning on a single by Alou, and Williams bobbled the ball, and Alou got to third. He scored when Huntley threw wild and trying to pick him off third. Cubs came back and got a run on singles by Kessinger, Williams, and Sano. And the next pitch is outside, the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Gary Gentry has given up 1 run, allowed 2 hits, a double and a single. Allen driving the run in, his 69th of the year. Now a wild swing and a miss at a curveball to count 1-2 on Billy Champion. Allen taking the club lead and runs batted in. He had been tied with Darren Johnson at 68. Next pitch back, fastball, swung on a miss, strike 3, and Gentry now has struck out his last 3 batters. 1 out in the top of the third, and Terry Harmon coming up.
Terry Harmon, number 19.
Harmon was out in a fine play by Bud Harrelson his first time up. For the finest products on the road, drive into Citgo, a nice place to visit. Harmon had a record of 2 for 8 in the previous games of the series. Now the first pitch, a changeup, but low, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Harmon's overall record for the season, 228 with no home runs and 14 runs batted in. Gentry tries a fastball and misses low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Mets lead 2-1 on home runs by Tommy Agee and Art Shamsky. Next pitch is hit in the air toward shallow right center. Going over is Swoboda. He makes the call and the catch. 2 men away. The outfield is still very tricky. It's wet and heavy and very slippery. But the grounds crew, headed by John McCarthy, doing a fabulous job in getting the outfield in any kind of shape at all. Yesterday, rain puddles all over the place. Now the batter for the Phillies, Tony Taylor. He doubled his first time up and scored the first run of the ball game. Mets lead 2-1. Taylor batting at .264 with 2 home runs and 25 runs batted in. And Gentry with the first pitch. It's over the inside corner, a called strike. Taylor playing at third base and Darren Johnson going to left field with Johnny Briggs doing reserve duty and not able to play. 1 strike pitch. It is in for a fastball strike. Strike 2. Larry Heisel has a sprained hand and he is unable to play. Heisel having a great year in his first full season in the major leagues with 20 home runs and a .265 average. Next pitch is way inside, and Taylor jackknifes away to keep from getting hit. 1-2. Mets are missing their top hitter, Cleon Jones. Cleon second in the batting race. Now a curveball swung on a miss, strike 3. 4th strikeout for Gary Gentry. And a 1-2-3 inning. Gary has retired his last 8 batters. And the score in the middle of the third. The New York Mets 2, Philadelphia Phillies 1.
A lot of people these days are asking what this country's coming to, what it's all about. Well, it's about a lot of things that we take for granted, like arguing with each other. Some places in the world you can't argue out loud about politics, for example. In some places, that's a privilege they're fighting for right now. We take a lot of other things for granted, too. Free enterprise, The new opportunities that people demand and get because they demand it. That's what America is all about. And that's why I'm a pilot in the Air Force Reserve. That's why 1 weekend a month I fly. So we can stay on top. So nothing will take us by surprise. Just so we can keep on taking this country of ours for granted. If you have Air Force flying experience, contact the nearest Air Force Reserve unit or the Reserve Affairs officer at the nearest Air Force base for further information and details.
Bottom of the third. The Mets leading by a score of 2-1, and the first batter for the Mets will be the third baseman, Wayne Garrett. Billy Champion pitching for the Phillies. He has given up 2 runs and 2 hits. And he's now pitching to Wayne Garrett for the second time. He got Wayne to ground out to Richie Allen, the first baseman, his first time up. And the right-hand pitcher with the first pitch, it's outside off the glove of the catcher. Ball 1. Garrett batting .225. He has 1 home run and 32 runs batted in. Now Champion back in the 1-0 pitch. Breaking pitch in for a called strike. 1-1. Well, the New York Mets and the Borden Company are plays at the games between the Mets and the Chicago Cubs on Monday night, September 8th, and Tuesday night, September 9th. 2 of the most important games of the year are available to holders of Borden coupons. Now the next pitch fouled into the stands and the count 1-2. However, since it is impossible for us to judge how many people will avail themselves of the privilege, we have agreed to set aside 5,000 seats each night for the coupon holders. So it's suggested that you be at the ballpark early if you're planning on using your Borden coupons. That's Monday and Tuesday. Now a swing and a miss and strike 3, and Wayne Garrett is struck out. Now 1 away and Don Clendenin coming up. Don struck out his first time up. Batting at .259 with 12 home runs and 43 runs batted in. The first pitch is swung on and fouled off the mask of the catcher Watkins. Strike 1. The Mets are scheduled to play a twilight doubleheader with Montreal on Wednesday, September 10th, which is also Borden's night at Shea. So it might be better to use your Borden coupons for that twilight doubleheader than try and battle the 5,000 seats out here Monday and Tuesday night. Mets and Borden appreciate your understanding in this matter and thank you for your cooperation and continued patronage. Now a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Billy Champion into the windup and the pitch back to Clendenin. Taken inside. 2-2. Don has not had a good series against the Phillies. He is 1 for 13. He had a tremendous series on the Dodger, well, actually on the whole West Coast trip against San Diego, San Francisco, and the Dodgers. Pitch is low on a full count, 3-2 to Don Clendenin. The on-deck batter, Art Shamsky. Pittsburgh got a run in the top of the second. They lead the Cubs now 2-1, and the applause in the background is for the run that's posted on the scoreboard. Bob Moose against Dick Selma. Moose with a record of 10-2. Dick Selma has won 12 and lost 6. When the Mets play the Cubs, they'll be set up with Kuzman and Seaver on the mound Monday and Tuesday night. 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Clendenin walks. That's the third walk given up by Billy Champion. It brings up Art Shamsky, who hit his 12th home run his first time up. Cubs are going to be pitching Bill Hands and Ken Holtzman, 2 16-game winners. So it should be an exciting 2 games. First pitch to Shamsky popped up high in the air on the shortstop side. Now Money easing back onto the outfield grass and making the catch as Clendenin holds at first. So now 2 away, and the batter coming up is Ken Boswell. Boswell flied to center field his first time up. He's had 15 hits in his last 33 times up. And Boswell's averaged to .260. Shamsky, before popping up to the shortstop, batting .301. Boswell in the series is 2 for 8. Left-hand batter, Clendenin at first base. Good speed there. Mets leading 2-1. And the pitch. Breaking pitch in the dirt. He gets away momentarily from Watkins, but Clendenin, seeing the ball close by, does not try to go. 1 ball, no strikes. At the end of 1.5 innings, Atlanta 4, Cincinnati nothing. Ron Reed pitching for Atlanta. Culver started for Cincinnati, making a comeback after being on the disabled list, and he was knocked out in the first, and Carroll is now pitching for the Reds. 1-0. Clendenin is running, and the pitch is taken low. The throw by Watkins is in the dirt. Clendenin slides in with a belly slide, and he is safe. Clendenin with his 3rd stolen base, and in scoring position in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Watkins' throw was in the dirt, taken by the shortstop, Don Money, and Clendenin beating the tag after Money had made the catch, in with his 3rd stolen base. Mets are forcing the ball game, trying to add to their 2-1 lead. Boswell with a count of 2-0, and Champion now back to the plate. The pitch is in the dirt. He gets away from Watkins, but again he gets to it in a hurry, and Clendenin not taking any chances with 2 men away and in scoring position, not trying to go to third. Good heads-up baseball by Dunn. The advantage of trying for third with 2 men away is not that good. Three balls, no strikes. On deck batter, Ron Swoboda. Boswell checking to see whether or not he's hitting. He could be. And the 3-0 pitch. He was hitting, but it was inside, and it's ball 4. So now runners at first and second base on 2 walks, and Ron Swoboda coming up. 4th walk given up by Billy Champion in the ball game. Ron was the first man to walk. That came his first time up in the second. Ron's average at .242 with 6 home runs and 41 runs batted in. Cubs did not score in the bottom of the second, so Pittsburgh going to the top of the third, leading 2-1. Here's the pitch to Swoboda. And it's in. A curveball over the inside corner as Ron leans away. Strike 1. Pittsburgh in the second got a run on a walk, an infield hit, a wild pitch, and a loose single to go in front by a score of 2-1. And the next pitch is low, and the count 1-1. Pittsburgh's other run came on a base hit by Lou, an error by Billy Williams, Lou going to third, and then Randy Huntley threw the ball wild trying to pick a Lou off third, and Lou came in to score. Next pitch, a check swing foul ball into the stand. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Don Clendenin on second base. A walk and a stolen base got him there. Behind him, Boswell at first. He got there on a walk. And the count 1-2 on Ron Swoboda. 2 men away. Here's the pitch. Slider outside, and 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mets left 2 men on in the second. Now I have 2 more on here. And at 2-2, the pitch is high and inside. It's ball 3. So Ron Swoboda has worked the count full, and that will set it up for the runners to be running with the next pitch. The on-deck batter is Jerry Grody. Mets leading 2-1, 2 men out, bottom half of the third. Clendenin at second with a good-sized lead. Boswell at first base, checking out Richie Allen, the first baseman. Vera has him in his eyes. Now the set position and the pitch. The runners go. The pitch is hit foul back into the stand. So Clendenin back to second, Boswell back to first, and the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. When Champion walked 2 in the second to put runners at first and second. Later on, the Mets with runners at first and third. John Boozer was warming up in the bullpen. No one throwing now for the Phillies. Once again, the set position. The runners go. The pitch hit hard down to third. Taylor has it, though. And a throw to first base to Allen is in time for the out that retires the side. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, No errors and 2 men left on. And the score at the end of 3. The New York Mets 2, the Philadelphia Phillies 1.
Coming to the end of your college days, why not make it a happening? The start of something big. In all the world, only a few thousand men have mastered the skies from the deck of a ship at sea. You could be one of them as a naval aviator. If you're going to be something, why not be something special? It's where it's all happening now.
This is New York Mets baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3, Saratoga Springs, New York.
Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy from Shea Stadium. The Mets leading 2-1, and the Phillies have their big slugger, Richie Allen, to lead off here in the 4th. On the mound for the Mets is Gary Gentry. Allen drove in the 1 run that the Phillies have his first time up. And the first pitch is a wild swing at a breaking pitch. Ball 1. And Allen was all set up to hit a fastball out of the ballpark. He was fooled by the curve, and the count, strike 1. One strike pitch, breaking pitch back for a call, strike 2. Allen's single was to left field, and it drove in Tony Taylor with the Phillies' run that put them in front in the first. The Mets got 2 in the first to take it back. Now a curveball just outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rusty Staub has hit a 3-run home run for Montreal against the St. Louis Cardinals in the 3rd. His 26th, and Montreal leads the Cardinals 3-0 after 2.5 innings. Bill Stillman pitching for Montreal, Steve Carlton going for the Cardinals. Now a fastball that spins Allen away and out of the batter's box. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Allen's base hit only his 2nd in the series and 13 times up in the first inning. Now a 2-2, the pitch, curveball, grounded foul. Ball taken by Wayne Garrett by the third base coach and manager, George Myatt. Now remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pittsburgh out in the top of the 3rd. They lead now after 2.5, 2-1 over the Cubs. Bob Moose and Dick Selma, the opposing pitchers. Next pitch is hit high in the air to shallow center field. Tommy Agee coming in. He has plenty of time to get to it, and he makes the catch. So Allen becomes the first out in the 4th inning, and that brings up Johnny Callison. Johnny hit into a force play his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Allen batting .299 before the out. Callison coming up hitting at .260. Callison, a left-hand batter with 14 home runs and 48 runs batted in. Gary Gentry with his pitch. Change up and a beauty. It's in for a call strike. Callison was fooled completely. He was going to swing and then held up, but the pitch was in the strike zone. Gentry with a record of 10-11. He got his 10th win his last time out. It took him 10 starts to get that 10th win. Now a changeup again, but this one out of the strike zone. It's 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. And Gentry into the windup. And the pitch, a fastball hit down toward first base. Clendenin takes it, moves in, throws underhanded to Gentry covering at the bag for the out. 2 up and 2 away, and it brings up Darren Johnson. Darren flied out to right field his first time up. Darren hitting at .260 with 16 home runs and 68 runs batted in. Johnson from San Diego, California. Originally signed by the New York Yankees. First pitch to Johnson. It is a curveball that is low and away, ball one. Darren was an All-America high school football player at San Diego. 1-0 pitch, fastball just inside as Johnson backs away. 2 balls, no strikes. He and Floyd Robinson, who played in the major leagues, played in the same team together. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball that is inside, ball 3, and Gentry and Grody turn around and say to Frank Sikori, where was it? And Sikori probably said right over, but too slow. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Fastball that is inside again and just off the plate, ball 4. And again, Gentry did not like the call. He turns his back on the umpire in disgust. So Gentry walks his first man, and with 2 men away, the Phillies have the time run at first base. And their center fielder, Ron Stone, coming up. Ron flied out to left field his first time up. He's batting at .249 with 1 home run and 24 runs batted in. And the first pitch to the left-hand batter is swung on and missed. Strike 1. Gentry with a curveball picking up a strike. Gentry's curveball is a hard, short curve. And he throws it fairly close to the same speed as his fastball. He also throws a slider that is very fast, and he has used his changeup to help him change speeds. Now, fastball foul tipped into the glove of Grody. Strike 2. Gentry does not appear to be a rookie, which he is. He has a lot of poise, a lot of concentration, and tremendous determination. And at 2 strikes, the pitch back to Stone, a pitch out. Nothing on, and the count 1-2. Mets here today will go over their attendance mark for last year. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and it is just low, and again, a very, very close pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mets have drawn 1,759,910, and with this crowd here today, it'll be close to 1,800,000. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Change up, beautiful change, but hit well off the glove of Don Clendenin and on by Boswell, who tried to stop to get back to it, and into right field. Picking the ball up is Ron Swoboda, and on the play, Johnson goes to third, and now the time run is at third on the base hit by Ron Stone, who really held in there well against the changeup and hit that ball hard off the glove of Don Clendenin. That'll bring up the catcher, Dave Watkins. Watkins was struck out his first time up. Watkins, a right-hand batter, hitting .125. He has 3 home runs and 9 runs batted in. And the Phillies now threatening, trying to get back to at least a tie ball game with the time run at third. Go-ahead run at first base. 2 men out. We're in the top of the 4th. Gentry taking a long time to read the signs. Now he sets up. And the pitch. Curveball swung on and fouled down in the dirt. Strike 1. Cleveland has taken the lead from the Yankees at the end of 3.5. Cleveland 3, the Yankees 2. Yankees got off of that ball game to a 2-0 lead after 1.5. Al Downing was knocked out of the box. Bill Burbach is now pitching for New York. And the next pitch, a fastball over the inside corner. Strike 2. Louis Tion pitching for the Indians. At the end of 4, Boston 2, Washington 1. The end of 2, Baltimore 2, Detroit 2. McClain pitching in that game for Detroit, scoring for number 23. The 2-strike pitch. It is popped in the air out to the shortstop, Bud Harrelson. And Bud backpedaling onto the outfield grass makes an easy catch, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a walk, and 2 men left on And the score in the middle of the fourth. The New York Mets 2, the Philadelphia Phillies 1.
Having a problem in deciding where to take your group on its next outing? If so, let the Mets Group Sales Department solve it for you. This department is manned by experts in handling both men's and women's groups. The same specialists encourage community and civic organizations, social and fraternal clubs, youth, family, and athletic groups to take in a Mets ball game and enjoy a day at Shea. In addition to providing group ticket sales for a ball game, our representatives will be happy to furnish you with all the details of the beautiful restaurants at Shea Stadium, which are available for parties large or small up to 700 persons. For groups of 100 or more, recognition will be given to your organization on the changeable message scoreboard here at Shea. Residents of Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York can easily obtain additional information simply by writing to Group Sales Manager, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368. Or if you like, telephone 212-672-3000. The representative handling your area will be more than happy to personally speak before your men's or women's group, large or small, and explain all the details. Call or write today.
Grudy will lead off for the Mets here in the bottom of the fourth inning as the Mets lead by a score of 2-1. Philly champion working for the Phillies. He has given up 2 runs on 2 hits, home runs by Tommy Agee and Art Shamsky. Mets have had 4 walks in the ball game, one of them going to Jerry Grote his first time up. And a curve is in for a called strike. Jerry's had 10 runs batted in his last 10 ball games. And his 38 RBIs for the season sets a club record for a catcher, breaking one held by Jesse Gonder, set in 1964 at 35. One strike pitch is swung on and foul tipped. Strike 2. Grote batting .245 with his 6 home runs and 38 runs batted in. He'll be followed by Bud Harrelson and Gary Gentry. And the 2-strike pitch, low and away, 1-2. Champion has lost once to the Mets this year, and that was a 1-0 loss to Gary Gentry. His overall record, 5-7. This is his 18th start. Now the next pitch, a curve hit hard, but taken by Tony Taylor as he moves to his glove side in the air for the out. Well, the Cubs got a run in the bottom of the third. They have tied up their ball game with Pittsburgh at 2-2. Bob Moose and Dick Selma, the opposing pitchers. Now for the Mets, Bud Harrelson steps up. Bud hit into a force play with runners at first and second his first time up. Average at .237 with no home runs and 20 runs batted in. And the first pitch hit hard down to the shortstop, Dom Money. Takes the second hop, throws the first base for the out. That'll bring up Gary Gentry. Mets are leading by a score of 2-1. Gary has had 6 hits and 60 times up. He struck out his first time up in this game. This game will decide the series season here at Shea Stadium. Both sides have won 4 games. Total of 9 games played in the overall series. First pitch, a curve low and away, ball 1. Mets hold the edge season-wise. They have won 8 of the 14 games played. Next pitch is too low for a ball. That's 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Champion now back again. And a fastball is swung on a miss. The Mets have 2 remaining games with the Cubs here and 2 in Chicago, the final games of the year. They have 3 here with Montreal. Now another swing and a miss. And the count, strike 2. And they have 2 in Montreal. They have 9 games with Pittsburgh, 5 here. And they have 2 games with St. Louis here. And the next pitch is swung on and missed, and strike 3. So the side retired in order for the first time by Billy Champion. To strike out his 3rd in the ball game, make it his 4th. And the score at the end of 4, the Mets 2, the Philadelphia Phillies 1.
You can tell a great beer even after you finish drinking. Just look at that lacy head still clinging to the side of your empty glass. Those rings of lace mean the head stayed up as your beer went down. That's the sign of a great beer. The sign of Rheingold Extra Dry, the beer with the 10-minute head. That head tells you Rheingold's brewed of the finest malt. Rheingold's aged to perfection. So after you finish your next Rheingold, look for the lace inside your glass. Even on an empty glass, the proud Rheingold 10-minute head leaves its mark of greatness.
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Ask for Rheingold whenever you buy beer. Rheingold beer ain't so high. Rheingold brewed extra dry. Won't you try extra dry Rheingold beer?
The Rheingold 10-minute head. Haven't you timed it yet? Rheingold Breweries, New York and Orange, New Jersey.
In the game between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field, the Cubs tied it with a run in the second when Dick Selma doubled and Billy Williams singled him home for the 2-2 tie, so that the Pirates are now batting in the fourth inning with the score tied 2-2. Right here, the Mets are leading the Phillies by a score of 2-1, and shortstop Don Money's up in the top of the fifth. Gary Gentry's pitch swung on and missed. Started him off with a breaking pitch. Pitcher Billy Champion is on deck. Now the strike one delivery. Curveball in there for a call. Strike two. Now here's the two-strike delivery. Fastball low, and it's 1-2 to Don Money. The Mets and the Chicago Cubs here tomorrow night and Tuesday night. There's a pitch outside for a ball. It's 2-2. All right, Friedman, how many riders did you say Chicago's bringing? 9 riders coming in with the Chicago Cubs for this series. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Gentry gets his 5th strikeout. One away, nobody on base, and Billy Champion's coming up. He's been up one time, and he struck out. Champion's hitting 161 for the season. Feeling a little thirsty just now? Give yourself a refreshment treat and open up a cold bottle of Royal Crown Cola. RC, the comer. Pitch to the right-hand batter. Fastball line in the right center field for a base hit. Agee is over. Picks it up, plays it back, and Billy Champion lined the fastball for a single. So there's the tying run at first, one away, and Terry Harmon's coming up. Grounded out and flied out. Leadoff man, batting right-handed. Mets have 2 runs, 2 hits, both of them home runs. The Phillies have 1 run, 4 hits. Here's Gentry's delivery, and it's low for a ball. Jerry Grody catching this game for the Mets. Clendenon plays behind the runner at first. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Had him jammed a little bit off the handle. Fouled it off his leg, and it rebounded out onto the field. Count of 1-1 to Terry Harmon. There is a new ballpark presently under construction in Philadelphia, which will be the future home of the Philadelphia Phillies. This is a 1-1 pitch. And it's in there for a call, strike 2. Phillies currently play their home games at venerable Connie Mack Stadium, once Shea Park. Now the pitch, foul back and out of play. Just got enough of the bat on it to stay alive. The count holds 1-2 to Terry Harmon. There is also a new stadium under construction in the city of Pittsburgh, Three Rivers Stadium. where the Pittsburgh Pirates will make their future home. This will be a 1-2 pitch. Here's a pitch high for a ball. It's 2-2. For several years now, the University of Pittsburgh has owned the property where Forbes Field is located. They own most of the property in that particular section of town. Apparently, they have some pretty good assurances that the new stadium will be ready next year in Pittsburgh for the start of the season, because they're making plans to tear Forbes Field down at the end of the season. There's a swing and a foul ball up the right field line. Clendenon gives chase over near the stands. He can't get to it. The tarp is rolled up on a cylinder there up against the barrier in front of the lower field boxes, and Clendenon had 1 foot up on the cylinder ready to go up there if need be, but he couldn't get it. It was several rows back into the field boxes. So the count is even at 2-2. Tony Taylor is kneeling in the on-deck circle. There is a new stadium under construction in the city of Cincinnati as well, although they are not very hopeful that it will be ready for the start of next baseball season. Here's a 2-2 pitch swung on, and it in the air to right field. Swoboda comes up. He's there. He makes the catch. Holding at first is Champion, 2 away. Tony Taylor coming up. He has doubled and later scored in the first inning. He slammed one between third baseman Wayne Garrett and the bag for 2 bases with 1 man out in the first and scored on Richie Allen's base hit. Taylor struck out in the third inning. Now off the stretch, here is the pitch. Swung on and lined into left, and Chansky comes over to one hop the ball. Plays it back. Champion goes to second and holds. Taylor's on with a single to left, and Richie Allen is coming up. So a little difficulty here with runners at first and second. 2 men out, and Richie Allen at the plate. Allen has singled a drive and a run, and he has slid to center field so far. Hitting .298 for the season with 29 home runs and 68 runs batted in. But one of the game's power hitters, Richie Allen. The Mets are leading 2-1. The Phils have runners at first and second with 2 men out. Gary Gentry sets up, checks the runners. Here's the pitch to Richie Allen. Breaking ball, and in there for a called strike. Johnny Callison is next in the order. Sun breaks through the overcast here at Shea Stadium at this moment. Here is the pitch. A little high for a ball. It's 1-1. Well, when you get into September and you're alive in a pennant race, they are all big games. Here's a swing and a drive in the right center field. That's the base hit. It'll score Champion. He's around third, and he's coming home. Taylor's on his way to third. Champion scores. Taylor's at third base holding. Richie Allen's on with a single to center, a run batted in. The score is tied at 2-2. Johnny Callison coming up. And the Mets aren't out of the woods yet, because Callison is the cleanup batter. He has grounded into a forced play and grounded out first base to the pitcher covering so far. .259 average for the season, 14 homers and 48 runs batted in. Well, we're getting a little action stirring around down in the Met bullpen with the Phils batting in the fifth. Nolan Ryan is getting up to throw. Nolan Ryan swinging a drive into right field. Swoboda's coming up, can't get it. A run scores. Swoboda one-hops the ball, plays it back. Allen holds it second. Callison at first, single to right, a run batted in. Taylor scored from third, and the Phils are leading by a score of 3-2. 3 consecutive base hits, overall 4 hits in the inning off Gary Gentry, and here comes pitching coach Rube Walker to the mound. Darren Johnson's coming up. He slides to right and walks so far. Nolan Ryan throwing out there in the bullpen. In Chicago, the Pirates 2, the Phillies 2, with Chicago batting in the bottom of the fourth. Right here, the Phillies 3, the Mets 2, with the Phillies batting in the top of the 5th. Mets started the day 3 1/2 games back of the Chicago Cubs. Gary Gentry steps off. That's inside for a ball. It's 1-0. This is a 1-0 delivery. It's high. Gentry goes behind to Darren Johnson, 2-0. Ron Stone next in the order. The Cubs did not score in the bottom of the 4th, so coming to the 5th inning, Pirates are coming up tied 2-2 with the Chicago Cubs. Nolan Ryan still throwing in the Met bullpen here. 2-0 pitch to Darren Johnson. Foul back out of play. It's 2-1. Richie Allen, the runner at second, and John Callison at first. Now again, Gentry off the stretch. Pitch is swung on and popped up in foul territory to the right side. Grody's looking for a play in front of the Met dugout. And he one-hands it for the out. Side is retired. But the Phillies picked up 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors and 2 left. In the middle of the 5th inning, the score is the Phillies 3, the Mets 2.
Hi, this is Greg Morris of Mission Impossible with an important question for young men. Do you know where you're going? Have you considered the Coast Guard? The United States Coast Guard builds well-rounded men, experts in a variety of fields, men with eyes on the future. At the United States Coast Guard Academy, you'll receive the finest education and military training, a Bachelor of Science degree, and a commission in the United States Coast Guard. If you have the ability to take command, the Coast Guard is interested in you. At the Academy, you can concentrate on engineering, management, or oceanography. Your training and education will encompass every facet of the Coast Guard's humanitarian mission. If you have what it takes, take a career in the Coast Guard. For brochure and application form, write to the Director of Admissions, Coast Guard Academy, New London, Connecticut. That's the Director of Admissions, Coast Guard Academy, New London, Connecticut.
A 2-1 lead, and they have not had a base hit since off Billy Champion. So it's Agee coming up here now in the bottom of the 5th. He has homered and grounded into a 4th play so far. Once again, the Mets send the top of the batting order up, trailing by 1 run. Here's Champion's pitch. Swung on and missed at strike 1. He's gotten stronger and steadier as he's gone along. He struck out 4 and walked 4. Pitch is foul back and out of play. 2 strikes now to Agee, followed by Garrett and then by Clendenin. Two-strike delivery is way outside. It's 1-2 now. The home run hit by Agee in the first inning was his 25th of this season. Now the 1-2 delivery. Outside low. It's 2-2. The 2-2 offering. curveball high, and the count is full at 3-2. Philly champion walked 2 men in the second inning and 2 more in the third, and then retired the side in order in the fourth. Here's a payoff pitch. He checked, took it high, and walked. The 5th walk given by Billy Champion gives the Mets a lead-off base runner. The tying run is at first for the Mets, and Wayne Garrett's coming up. He's looking down to sign man Eddie Yost to see if anything's on here. On that 3-2 pitch, Agee swung his body around, but checked the bat in time. It was high out of the strike zone. Taylor in on the edge of the grass at third to protect against a sacrifice possibility with Clendenon on deck, Garrett at the plate. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a call strike, and he was ready to swing away. Richie Allen holding against Tommy Agee at first base. Throw to first, Agee's back. As Champion was up in the stretch, Tony Taylor had moved several steps in on the grass at third. Garrett waiting. Here's the pitch. He watches in there for a call strike, too. He was ready to swing away again. The end of 5 innings of play. Boston was leading Washington 2-1, but Frank Howard has hit a 6th-inning solo home run for the Senators to make that a 2-2 game, and for Howard, home run number 44. Reggie Jackson hit one yesterday, his 46th. It's a swing and a fly ball down the left field line. Chased back there by Tony Taylor. It's over in foul territory, out of play. Nobody can get it. Taylor was going, Money was going, and Darren Johnson, the left fielder, was coming over, but it fell in foul territory down the left field line, out of play, and it'll bring Garrett back to the plate with a 2-strike count. So Frank Howard has 44 home runs now in the American League, and Reggie Jackson has 46. Right here, the Phillies are leading the Mets by a score of 3-2. Mets have Agee at first, nobody out. Wayne Garrett's up with a 2-strike count. Clendenon waiting on deck. Now the pitch. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Strikeout number 5. Now we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WKAJ-FM, Saratoga Springs, New York. 102.3 on your FM dial, the home of the New York Mets.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at Shea Stadium. Don Clendenon at the plate for the Mets now with 1 man out. Agee takes his lead at first. He's running, and here's a swing and a miss. Throw to second. It's high. A stolen base for Agee. Number 9 for Tommy Agee. They had the hit and run on with Agee moving on the pitch. Clendenon swung and missed, but Agee stole it anyway. So the tying run is in scoring position at second base. The count is strike 1 to Clendenon, who today has struck out and walked so far. The Met fans get a little aroused here now. They want that tying run in. The Phillies are 1 run on top. Swing and a fly ball down the right field line, curving into foul territory, into the seats and out of play. Count goes to 2 strikes to Clendenon with Art Shamsky waiting on deck. The Mets have had only 2 hits off Billy Champion, both of them in the first inning and both of them home runs. 2-strike delivery. And away, so it's 1-2. Catcher Dave Watkins flashes a sign for Billy Champion, who sets up and checks Agee at second. Now the pitch is high, and it's 2-2 to Clendenon. Pittsburgh did not score in the top of the 5th, going to the bottom of the 5th in Chicago. The Pirates 2 and the Cubs 2. 2-2 deliveries, a curveball high. So now Champion goes behind the Clendenon. 3-2. Both starting pitchers are still in the game in Chicago. Dick Selma for the Cubs and Bob Moose for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Champion sets up. The payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. He strikes out Clendenis. Strikeout number 6 for Champion. 2 Mets out in the bottom of the 5th, and Art Shamsky coming up. Shamsky has homered and popped to short. The Atlanta Braves are leading the Cincinnati Reds 6-1, going to the bottom of the 4th. Montreal is leading the St. Louis Cardinals 3-0, going to the bottom of the 5th. Rusty Staub hit his 26th homer in the 3rd inning with 2 on. The end of 2 innings, Giants nothing, Houston nothing. Ray Sadecki against Don Wilson. The Dodgers are at San Diego in a later start. San Diego has taken 3 straight from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Shamsky is in and waiting. Here is the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. It's strike 1. John Boozer and Al Raffo are throwing in the bullpen for the Philadelphia Phillies. A pair of right-handers, John Boozer, Al Raffo. Shamsky is a little tired of waiting, so he backs out of the batter's box. Mets need a big base hit here to get the tying run in from second base. They have the cleanup batter at the plate. Here's the strike 1 delivery. Swung on and popped up down the left field line. Chased back by Tony Taylor, over by Darren Johnson. Back by Money, and nobody can get it. Foul ball, out of play. Sliced down the left field line. A high pop that fell in among Don Money, Darren Johnson, and Tony Taylor. That brings Shamsky back to the plate with a 2-strike count. The Phillies 3 runs, 7 hits. The Mets 2 runs, 2 hits. Now the pitch. Missing outside. It's 1-2. Shamsky measures his stats, back in and waiting. Tommy Agee leads at second base. With 2 men out, this is a 1-2 pitch. Swung on it in the air to left field, and Darren Johnson moves over and back. He's there, and Johnson makes the catch. Side is out. It is no runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, a stolen base, and 1 man left. The end of 5 full innings of play. The score is the Phillies 3, the Mets 2.
This is Bob Walton of Walton Sports Shop, Lake Avenue in Saratoga Springs. Now you can have action the year round with Johnny Stewart's transistorized Electrocall Crow and Varmint Caller. When you project these sounds on the Electrocall, you get results. Foxes, bobcats, and especially crows come as fast as they can run or fly. Crow and varmint calling is a sport you can enjoy year-round, day and night, in most areas of the country. Sharpen your eye for the coming hunting season and at the same time help get rid of predators. Stop in at Walton Sports Shop in Saratoga Springs for a demonstration on how to call crows and fox and have fun doing it. Ask to see the Johnny Stewart Electrocall. Crows and varmints can't resist the calling sounds of the game in Crow Caller's library. Remember, that's Walton Sports Shop, Lake Avenue, Saratoga Springs, where sportsmen cater to sportsmen.
In the top of the 6th inning, it'll be Ron Stone up to lead off for the Philadelphia Phillies, facing Gary Gentry. Pittsburgh Pirates are batting in the 6th inning, tied with the Cubs, 2-2. Ron Stone has flied to left and had a base hit so far. Left-hand batter playing center field today. Larry Heisel is out with a sprained hand, and John Briggs is out because of a military obligation today on behalf of the Phils. Pitch to the left-hand batter. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Dave Watkins is on deck. Today's baseball quiz on the message board in right field. Do you know how many players have won the American League Triple Crown more than once? How many players have won the American League Triple Crown more than once? That's in for a call strike. Another curveball. In the middle of the sixth inning, the Cleveland Indians are leading the New York Yankees by a score of 3-2. Time has been called because of rain in Cleveland. Swinging a drive foul on the right field line out of play. The count holds at 2 strikes. The end of 4. Baltimore 2, Detroit 2. Denny McLain going after his 23rd. Dave McNally in quest of his 18th. Right here, the Phillies 3 and the Mets 2. Pitch breaks low, and it's 1-2 now. Ron Stone back in and waiting. Gentry has struck out 5, walked 1. Air ball hammered on the ground to first. A big hop to Clendenon. He makes the play unassisted. There's 1 away. The loans are larger at Household Finance. Now borrow up to $1,400 at any HFC office in New York. Remember, larger loans, Household Finance. Dave Watkins has struck out and popped out so far. Right-hand batter. Bunts, and it's a foul ball on a play. Trying to bunt his way on. Instead, he bunted it back, and it's strike 1. Watkins bats number 7 in the order. He's the catcher, but he has good speed. Don Money has moved out on deck. Mets and the Cubs here tomorrow night, Tuesday night. A lot of baseball excitement in New York. Pitch to the right-hand batter. Curveball, and it's in there for a call. Strike 2. Two-strike delivery. Breaking pitch on the outside corner for a call. Strike 3. Strike him out. 6 strikeout for Gentry. 2 fills out in the 6th inning. Don Money's coming up, and up twice, struck out both times. Phillies 3, Mets 2. Cincinnati Reds have brought former Met Dennis Rybat in now in relief of Clay Carroll. Pitch is low and away for a ball. George Culver started for Cincinnati today. Clay Carroll relieved him in the 1st inning when Atlanta got 4 runs. Now in the 6th, Dennis Rybat is on to do the pitching for the Reds. Ron Reed, with a record of 14-9, has been in all the way for Atlanta. Money swings and misses. It's 1-1. The end of 5 innings, Atlanta leading Cincinnati by a score of 6-1. Pittsburgh and Chicago tied 2-2. Pirates batting in the 6th. Swinging a foul ball back and out of play. It's 1-2 now to Money with 2 men out and nobody on base. In the middle of the 3rd inning, Giants nothing, Houston nothing. Ray Sadecki 5-8 against John Wilson 16-10. Manny Sanguillen has hit a home run. His 5th of the year for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 6th inning with 1 man on to put the Pirates out front by a score of 4-2, and that's the crowd reaction. Manny Sanguillen and Gary Gentry, the Met pitcher, turned to look at the scoreboard when he heard the crowd. 1-2 pitch to Money, fired high and tight, crossed the letters, driving him out, and it's 2-2. Pirates are leading the Chicago Cubs 4-2. Nolan Ryan up and throwing again in the Met bullpen. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's taken high, and the count goes full at 3-2 now to Money with pitcher Billy Champion on deck. Mets will have their number 5 man in the order leading off in the bottom of the 6th, so they got the bullpen warming up right now. Here's a 3-2 delivery. swung on and hit in the air, fouled on the right field line. It'll be in the lower field boxes, out of play. Count will hold full at 3-2 to Don Money. This will be a payoff pitch from Gary Gentry to Don Money. It's on the way. Hammered on the ground to third. It's a big hop up to Garrett. He guns to first, not in time. Money used his speed to beat it out. So that'll bring up the pitcher, Billy Champion, who struck out and had a base hit.
Pitcher, Billy Champion, number 31.
The hit was number 8 for the Phils. Off Gentry. Phillies are leading in the game by a score of 3-2. They have a runner at first with 2 men out. This will be a pitch off the stretch to the right-hand batter. In there for a call strike to Champion. He hit a Gentry fastball out into right center for a base hit with 1 man out in the 5th. Then after Terry Harmon flied to right, they picked up 2 runs. Here is a pitch that is low and away. It's 1-1. Nolan Ryan throwing in earnest down there in the bullpen. Gentry sets and checks. Here's a swing and a drive into center field. Coming up fast is Agee. Can he get there? Yeah, he can. So the side is out on the looper into center field. It's no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. In the middle of the 6th inning, the score is the Phillies 3, the Mets 2.
You live in freedom and security, and saving funds help to keep our country free. So follow the eagle, the red, white, and blue eagles. Take stock in America. Bonds and freedom shares. Follow the eagle, the red, white, and blue eagle. Take stock in America by U.S. Savings Bonds.
Well, the New York Mets still trail by a run here. They are aware that the Pittsburgh Pirates have gone 2 runs ahead of the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field in Chicago. And the Pirates are still batting in the top of the 6th inning. The Mets come up here in the bottom of the 6th inning with Ken Boswell to lead off. He has flied to center and walked so far. Champion has been in all the way. He has limited the Mets to 2 hits, both of them in the 1st inning and both of them solo home runs. One by Agee, one by Shamsky. The answer to the baseball quiz is on the message board in right. We'll pass that along in just a moment. Boswell's a left-hand batter. Champion's a right-hand pitcher. And it's low for a ball. The answer to the baseball quiz: only once in American League history has a player won the Triple Crown more than one time. He's Ted Williams, who turned the trick in 1942 and 1947 with the Red Sox. That's in for a call strike. 1-1 now to Boswell with Swoboda on deck. Pirates are out now in the top of the 6th. They got the 2 runs on Sanguillen's home run. So the Cubs come up in the bottom of the 6th. Both starting pitchers still in the game. Dick Stoma for the Cubs and Bob Moose for the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's a curveball high, and it's 2-1. Champion has struck out 6 and walked 5. swing and a ground ball, and it's going through the hole into right field for a base hit. Boswell rounds first and holds up as Callison returns it. To throw to first, he slides back in. It's off Boswell's leg, but no chance for him to advance any farther as he is on the bag, and Billy Champion retrieves the ball. Champion had moved in behind the base runner, trying to get him taking a wide turn. Tying run is at first. That is the third base hit for the Mets-South champion, and the first one they've had since the first inning. Swoboda is up. He has walked and grounded out. Swoboda batting number 6 in the order. Nolan Ryan still up in the bullpen. The Phillies are leading 3-2. The Mets have the tying run on at first here in the bottom of the 6th. Going to get a little action now down in the Philly bullpen. The pitch to Swoboda is low for a ball. It's John Boozer and Al Raffo. Same two right-handers who were up in the last inning. John Boozer, Al Raffo throwing in the bullpen for the Phils. Richie Allen holding against the runner. Boswell at first. Pitch is hammered on the ground over the head of Taylor out into left field for a base hit. Boswell goes to second and holds, and Swoboda's on at first. He hammered a bounding base hit over the head of third baseman Tony Taylor out into left field. So the Mets have runners at first and second. Nobody out. The number 7 man in the order, Jerry Grody, is coming to the plate. He's followed by Bud Harrelson. So let's see how the Mets play it here. They have Nolan Ryan still throwing down in the bullpen so that Gil Hodges can be ready to go to a pinch hitter for Gentry if they're in a good spot at that time. Phils lead 3-2. Grody has walked and lined out to third base so far. Taylor in the cutout of the grass at third base, and Allen on the edge of the grass at first expecting a bunt. And they get it. It's bunted up the first base line. A good one. Champion goes to Harmon at first. Sacrifice 1-4. It moves runners up. Boswell to third. Swoboda to second. Bud Harrelson will be coming up with a shot to get him home. The tying run is at third. The go-ahead run is at second. Harrelson has grounded into a forced play and ground out short to first so far. He's a switch hitter batting left. He's hitting .236. He's had 20 runs batted in. He's the number 8 man in the order. Gary Gentry, wearing the jacket, comes out on deck. Warm-ups now in San Diego. Claude Osteen for the Dodgers, 18-11. Al Sanzarini, 6-13 for San Diego. Infield in for the Philadelphia Phillies. Pitch it high and away for a ball. The Phils with the infield in, hopeful of choking off the possible tying run at the plate. The Phils have a 1-run lead. The Mets have runners at second and third with 1 man out. Off the stretch. The pitch swung on and lined to shortstop. There's no play at the plate. At first base, Harrelson's up as the tying run scores. It was knocked down by the shortstop, Don Money, with Swoboda moving on to third. A hard hit ball. So that was off the glove of shortstop Don Money. He picked it up and made the play at first, but give Harrelson a run batted in. The score is tied 3-3. Jerry Gentry is going back to the dugout now. Swoboda's at third with 2 men out. And who's going to bat for Gary Gentry? Nobody's come out yet. J.C. Martin. J.C. Martin will bat for Gary Gentry. The paid attendance here this afternoon is 28,937. Total attendance is 29,865. J.C. Martin will bat. And now George Myatt, the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, is going to the mound for a word with Champion. Martin is a left-hand batter. He'll be batting for Gentry. So Gentry goes out of the ball game after having pitched 6 innings, given up 3 runs on 8 hits. He struck out 6 and he walked 1. If the Mets take the lead in this inning, Gentry will be the statistical benefactor. 2 men out. Swoboda at third. Score tied 3-3. J.C. Martin is hitting .223. He has 4 homers and 21 runs batted in. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Infield, of course, back to normal depth with 2 men out. Champion's pitch low and away for a ball. With J.C. Martin batting for Gentry, Agee's on deck. Al Raffo, John Boozer still throwing in the bullpen for the Phils. Now the 1-0 delivery. Outside for a ball. It's 2-0. Martin steps out of the box now to look down to sign man Eddie Yost at third. This will be a 2-0 delivery by Billy Champion. And it's low. He goes to 3-0 to J.C. Martin. J.C. with a handful of dirt now. Settles himself carefully back into the batter's box. Swoboda leads down the line from third. This is a 3-0 pitch. In there for a called strike. It's 3-1. The Mets 3, the Phils 3. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Swung on and foul back off the screen, out of play, and it's 3-2. Down 3-0. Billy Champion has come back to 3-2 now against J.C. Martin. With 2 men out and a runner at third, this is a payoff pitch. Swung on and popped up foul off the line at third. Baylor's over, and so is the catcher, and Taylor makes the catch. So the side is out. It is 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and 1 left. The end of 6 full innings of play. The score is tied. The Mets 3 and the Phils 3.
Many people, when they reach 65, would like to slow down a little, but not necessarily to retire completely. Well, you do not have to retire completely to get Social Security benefits. You can earn as much as $1,680 in a year and still get a Social Security check every month. You can earn a good deal more than $1,680 in a year and still get part of the benefits, depending on how much more you earn. And here's an important point. No matter how much money you earn during the year, you can get a benefit check for any month in which you earn no more than $140. You've just heard a lot of figures. $1,680 in a year, $140 in a month, age 65. Don't be confused. If you have any questions at all about retirement, earnings, and Social Security benefits, get in touch with your Social Security office. The people there will be glad to answer your questions and help you apply for benefits.
Nolan Ryan comes in the game now for the New York Mets to take over the pitching. Nolan's second outing since returning to the active list. He worked 1 inning in relief at Dodger Stadium. Nolan was sidelined for better than 3 weeks as the result of a leg injury and military duty. So while Nolan Ryan, the man with a blazing fastball, is warming up on the mound, we'll pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WKAJ-FM, Saratoga Springs, New York. 102.3 on your FM dial, the home of the New York Mets.
Ralph Kiner. The 7th inning, the game is tied 3-3, and the leadoff batter is Terry Harmon. Gary Gentry, working 6 innings, can neither win nor lose as he goes out of the game with a score tied. Gary allowed 3 runs, gave up 8 hits. Gentry walked only 1 man and struck out 6. Now the windup and the pitch by Ryan. A pop-up into short right field. Here comes Swoboda. Boswell goes out, and Boswell has it. Kenny Boswell racing into shallow right to make the catch and retire Terry Harmon. It brings up Tony Taylor, and Taylor has 2 hits and 3 times at bat. He has scored twice. Veteran infielder Tony Taylor. They now go to the 7th inning at Wrigley Field. The Pittsburgh Pirates lead the Chicago Cubs 4-2. Now Ryan into his windup. The pitch to Taylor. Inside, it's ball 1. Manny Sanguillen hit a 2-run homer, putting Pittsburgh in front. The Pirates, the hottest team in the league right now, they have a team batting average of .281. Swing and a miss. Pirates have won 15 of their last 19. Mets have 9 games left against the heavy-hitting Pirates. The 1-1 delivery. Ground ball hit the shortstop. Harrelson to his glove side is up with it. Throws to Clendenon, 2 down. Now Nolan Ryan must contend with Richie Allen. Allen has 2 for 3, has driven in 2 of the 3 Philadelphia runs. Atlanta 6, Cincinnati 3. The game is in the 7th. Montreal 3, St. Louis nothing, and the last of the 7th. Inside and high to Richie Allen, ball 1. Giants nothing, Houston nothing. At the end of 3, Sadecki and Wilson are the pitchers. The warm-ups at San Diego, Claude Osteen and Al Santorini. And the curve is hit in the air to deep left center. Agee moving back on the warning track, makes the catch. Side retired by Nolan Ryan, 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. 7th inning stretch time in the big, beautiful stadium. The crowd getting up for the score at the end of 6.5. The Phillies 3 and the Mets 3.
Very interesting, but the pay is lousy. This is Artie Johnson for Vista. I meant what I said. The pay is lousy. Vista volunteers only get $50 a month for the year they sign up, but they get an awful lot in satisfaction. The satisfaction of knowing that they've made life a little bit better for somebody who's had it pretty bad most of the time. Vista volunteers in service to America, spend a year where the real poverty is, in the big city slums, in migrant worker camps. They teach. They help get cooperation from red tape-ridden agencies. They do whatever they can to make life a little bit better. It's one of the few programs in the land of plenty that's designed to help the plenty who have nothing. It's not a job. It's a dedication. If you think you might have the guts to try, write Vista, V-I-S-T-A, Box A, Washington, D.C. Now that's what I call very interesting.
Between ball games, you'll enjoy seeing it. And the Mets close out their home season against St. Louis on Tuesday and Wednesday night, September 23rd and September 24th. Leading off, bottom half of the 7th inning. The game tied 3-3. Billy Champion delivers, and a curve over the outside corner, strike 1. With the crowd today, the Mets have passed their attendance for all of last season. Fouled back toward the press level. Last year, the Mets attracted 1,781,657. With the crowd today, the Mets have now drawn 1,788,847. 2-strike delivery off the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mets have been out hit in this ball game 8-4, and the game is tied 3-3. Dave Watkins setting up the target. It's high, and the count is even to Tommy Agee at 2-2. Now they're in the last of the 7th in Chicago. Pittsburgh 4, Chicago 2. These games running exactly the same. Here's the pitch on the way. And a foul behind the dugout and over into the crowd. They're in the last of the 7th in Chicago, and we're in the last of the 7th here at Shea Stadium. Wayne Garrett is on deck, and then Don Clendenin. Philly Champion has been very difficult. He has allowed just 4 hits. Champion has thrown a lot of pitches. He's walked 5 and struck out 6. So perhaps he may get a little arm weary. And a foul ball back over our broadcasting booth. No play. Beautiful day for the ball game. A lot of excitement. Now Champion's 2-2 delivery. Fouled again. Back up toward the first level and out of play. Tommy Agee homered in the first inning, his 25th of the year. Hit into a force play in the second and reached on a walk in the 5th inning. After he walked in the 5th inning, he stole second. Agee cocks the bat. And a foul ball hit deep down the right field line, back over into the crowd. That ball had a lot of wood on it. Yogi Berra coaching at first, Eddie Yost coaching at third. That's trying to get a rally going here in the 7th. Pitching 2-2. Fouled again, back upstairs, no play. That's 4 wasted off by Tommy Agee. Henry Aaron has just homered, his 39th of the year. He hit it in the 7th with the bases clear. The Braves lead Cincinnati 7-3 after 6.5. Pitching 2-2. High, ball 3. Aaron's home run was off of ex-Met Dennis Radin. Montreal leading St. Louis on a 3-run homer by Rusty Staub. Now the pitch. Foul ball back, no play. The ball hitting just above their head. And again, Agee fouls it off. Agee winds up getting a walk. He certainly will have earned it. It's 3-2 on Tommy Agee. Now the windup by Champion. Here's the pitch. And another foul ball coming back into the crowd. Larry Heisel is playing catch out of the Philadelphia bullpen. He has been sidelined with a bruised hand. Heisel, the regular center fielder, having quite a rookie season with 20 home runs. Pitching 3-2. Low, ball 4, and Agee draws a walk. He earned that one. That's the 6th walk by Philly Champion. Lowell, Palmer, and Turk Farrell will now start warming up in the Philly bullpen. Tommy Agee looked at 12 pitches before getting the walk. They look for the bunt, and Garrett fouls the ball back over the screen. Wayne Garrett trying to move the runner, but he bunts the ball foul. Philly Champion threw 12 pitches to Tommy Agee before he walked him. Game tied 3-3. Again, the Phils look for the sacrifice. Garrett squares around, bunts foul, strike 2. Now let's see if Gill will have Garrett trying to bunt that 3rd strike. So will the bunt play be on, or will Garrett be swinging away? Garrett, a left-hand hitter. 0 for 3 this afternoon. And the pitch on the way, and he bunts the ball foul, strike 3. Garrett trying to advance the runner, bunts it foul back over the screen, and is a strikeout victim. The 7th strikeout for Philly Champion. Don Clendenin has struck out, reached on a walk, and been struck out, nothing for 2. Phillies now with the infield at double play depth, the outfield straightaway against Don Clendenin, a power hitter. Agee builds a lead off first. And a pitch out, but nothing was on. Last time Agee was on, he stole second, and so the Phillies have a wary eye. Mets 3 and the Phillies 3. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Art Shamsky, the on-deck batter. And a throw to first, not in time. Don Clendenon batting .258. And a throw to first by Billy Champion, not in time. Billy Champion working hard now on Tommy Agee. And the pitch on the way. A line drive in the air to right field. Callison has to play it on the hop, a base hit. Agee's going to try for third. The throw by Callison, not in time. Runners at first and third. Don Clendenon rifling a hard single into right field. Looked for a moment as though Callison might try for a shoestring. He had to hold up at the very last moment and try and handle that short hop. It carried him away a bit. He recovered and threw to third, but not in time. Callison went into a slide and then had to block the ball with his body. Art Shamsky, the batter, runners at first and third, one man out. Art has 1 for 3, a home run. Long outfield fly would put the Mets in front. And the pitch on the way. Line drive in the air to left field. Agee tagging up. Johnson makes the catch. Here comes Agee. He'll score without a throw. Art Shamsky puts New York in front with a line drive to left field caught by Darren Johnson. Shamsky's second RBI of the ball game. He now has 38 for the year. The Mets lead 4-3 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Ken Boswell is the batter. Ken has 1 for 2 and a run scored. Also has reached on a walk. Boswell hitting at .262. That ball hit by Shamsky was tagged. A hard line drive to left field. And the pitch on the way. Low and outside, 1 ball and no strikes to Kenny Boswell. Don Clendenon on first base. There are 2 men away. The Mets have taken the lead 4-3. And a throw to first, not in time. Richie Allen holding against the runner. And a throw to first by Champion, and once again Clendenon scampers back. Chicago hitting in the last of the 7th inning. The Pirates in front 4-2. And the pitch on the way. Ground ball hit foul in behind Yogi Berra coaching at first. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. That's hoping to be 2.5 games out when this day is over. But we have a lot of agony to go through first. Cubs appear to have batted quite a while in the last of the 7th inning. The 1-1 delivery, the runner goes, and a fly ball hit to left center field. Galloping over is Darren Johnson. The ball is in for a base hit. Around third is Clendenon. He's scoring. Boswell is on his way to third. He pulls him at third. 5-3, New York. After a long run, Stone, the center fielder, found the ball just beyond his reach. That ball perfectly placed by Boswell in left center between Darren Johnson and Ron Stone. Stone got the closest to it, made a dive for it. It was just beyond his reach. Clendenon was running on the pitch, and he comes all the way around to score. And Boswell is on third with a run-scoring triple. Now the Mets lead 5-3, and the hitter is Ron Swoboda. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's high, ball one. Kenny Boswell is on quite a hitting streak. He now has 17 hits in his last 35 times at bat. Almost 500. Now Ron Swoboda takes the pitch low. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Mets lead 5-3 in the last of the 7th. The Giants came up with 6 runs in the 4th inning at Houston. Grounder foul down the third base line, no play. The Giants, who lead the Western Division by a game and a half, got 6 runs. They lead Houston 6-0 at the end of 3.5. Atlanta 7, Cincinnati 3. They're in the 8th inning. Montreal 3, St. Louis nothing in the last of the 8th inning in St. Louis. And the Pirates 4, the Cubs 2, Chicago hitting in the 7th. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And the count is 2-2 on Ron Swoboda. 2 runs are in on a walk, 2 hits, and a sacrifice fly in the last of the 7th. Now Champion into his windup. The pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. The 8th strikeout for Billy Champion to retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. At the end of 7, the New York Mets 5 and the Philadelphia Phillies 3.
Having a problem in deciding where to take your group in its next outing? If so, let the Mets Group Sales Department solve it for you. This department is manned by experts in handling both men's and women's groups. These same specialists encourage community and civic organizations, social and fraternal clubs, youth, family, and athletic groups to take in a Mets ball game and enjoy a day at Shea. In addition to providing group ticket sales for a ball game, our representatives will be happy to furnish you with all the details of the beautiful restaurants at Shea Stadium, which are available for parties large or small up to 700 persons. For groups of 100 or more, recognition will be given to your organization on the changeable message scoreboard here at Shea. Residents of Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York can easily obtain additional information simply by writing to Group Sales Manager, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368. Or if you like, telephone 212-672-3000. The representative handling your area will be more than happy to personally speak before your men's or women's group, large or small, and explain all the details. Call or write today.
Rod Gasper goes to left field, replacing Art Shamsky. Art had a big bat in this game, driving 2 of the 5 runs across the plate. Art hit a home run and a sacrifice fly to drive 2 runs in. Well, the Cubs apparently have something going in the last of the 7th inning in Chicago. Joe Gibbon, a left-hander, has been brought on to replace starting pitcher Bob Moose. The Cubs are batting, trailing 4-2 in the last of the 7th inning, but they apparently have a rally going. Now Johnny Callison up against Nolan Ryan, and a fastball over, strike 1. Al Weiss is now playing second. So Al Weiss has come in to play second. Rod Gasper is now playing left field. Off the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. One delivery by Nolan Ryan, a curve that he holds up on and takes inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Johnny Callison, Darren Johnson, and Ron Stone face Nolan Ryan here in the 8th inning. 2-1 delivery. Fouled behind third, over into the crowd. It's 2-2. Nolan Ryan took over in the 7th. Gary Gentry worked the first 6 and left the game for a pinch hitter. The pitchers of record in the game are Nolan Ryan and Billy Champion. Now Ryan fires. And a ground ball hammered hard to short. Harrelson up with it. Throws to first, 1 out. That was a tough play for Bud Harrelson. A very hard ground ball. Now Darren Johnson, he has flied to right, drawn a walk, and fouled out to Grudy. Nothing for 2. Darren Johnson hitting at .259, 16 home runs, and 68 runs batted in. On the outside corner, strike 1 call. New York 5, Philadelphia 3. This is the 8th inning. Curve hit hard up the middle, a base hit by Darren Johnson. Tommy Agee hustles in to pick it up. There is the first hit of Nolan Ryan, the 9th hit in the ball game for Philadelphia. And Ron Stone comes up to hit. Stone has 1 for 3. Now we're going to get a pinch runner. Larry Heisel is coming in to run for Darren Johnson. Philadelphia regular center fielder Larry Heisel has been sidelined with a bruised hand. Comes in the game now as a pinch runner for Darren Johnson. 1 out and 1 on, top of the 8th inning. And the pitch on the way to Stone is way up high, ball 1. Cubs are still at bat in that last of the 7th inning. They have been up a long time. The 1-1 delivery. It's high. 2-1. Ron Stone has flied to left, single to right, and bounced out to first. Let's have the infield looking for the double play, and the outfield is straight away. Fastball over the outside corner for a call strike. The on-deck batter is the catcher, Dave Watkins. Glendenon holding against Larry Heisel. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2 on Ron Stone. George Myatt managing the club off the coaching lines at third. Billy DeMars coaching at first. Now Agee, with a count 2-2, moves a stride toward left center. Ryan delivers. Hit down the left field line, foul, and into the crowd. Stone getting around late on Ryan's fastball, fouls it to the opposite way. The Cubs scored 1 run in the last half of the 7th inning. At the end of 3, the Pirates 4 and the Cubs 3. At the end of 7, the Pirates 4 and the Cubs 3. Ground ball down to Clendenon. He's up with it. He throws to Harrelson. 1, back to first. Double play. 3-6-3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left on. At the end of 7 1/2 innings, the New York Mets 5 and the Philadelphia Phillies 3.
Hello, this is Johnny Carson. For 19 years, Radio Free Europe has been providing the people of Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Poland, Romania, and Bulgaria with an alternative to the propaganda of the rigidly controlled communist press and radio. Radio Free Europe has become a voice of democratic opposition for these millions of East Europeans who have been denied the right to freedom of expression by their communist rulers. The people of East Europe believe in Radio Free Europe and rely on it as a trusted friend, as well as their principal source of true and unbiased information. They look upon Radio Free Europe as their own station and turn to it more than ever for inspiration in their continued efforts toward personal freedom and national independence. Write to Radio Free Europe for more information about current developments in East Europe and the work Radio Free Europe is doing for the East European people. The address, Radio Free Europe, Box 1969, Mount Vernon, New York. Thank you.
Larry Heisel goes to center field for Philadelphia. He came in the game as a pinch runner. Ron Stone moves from center field to left field. Jerry Grody will be leading off against Billy Champion in the bottom half of the 8th inning. New York 5, Philadelphia 3. And at Wrigley Field, they're now in the 8th inning. The Pirates leading 4-3 over the Cubs. Curve hit hard, base hit down the left field line for Jerry Grody. Jerry around first is trying for second. No, he slams on the brakes and comes back. Had he continued, he would have made it, only because the throw was far off the mark at second base. Grody went around first, full speed, and Yogi yelled out, "Hey, whoa there." Now Bud Harrelson. Nolan Ryan, the on-deck batter. Bud 0 for 3. Drove in a run early in the game. Bunts this one a foul off to the right, no play. Bud Harrelson drove in the Mets' third run with a hard ground ball to short. For Buddy Harrelson, his 21st run batted in. Mets would like to get a little more insurance if they can here in the bottom of the 8th inning. In the Philly bullpen, veteran right-hander Turk Farrell is loosening up. They look for the bunt. Off the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. In the 9th inning, the Phillies will have the bottom third of the order scheduled up. Now Champion works off the stretch. And the pitch to Harrelson. The runner goes, and it's fouled off on a hit-and-run play. Harrelson swinging to protect Jerry Grody, the runner, lost control of the bat, but fouled the pitch off, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So with the pitcher due up next, Gil Hodges changed from a bunt to a hit-and-run play. They have resumed play in Cleveland now following a rain delay. Cleveland 3, the New York Yankees 2 at the end of 5.5. The Red Sox taken high by Harrelson. Red Sox and Senators are tied 2-2 going to the 10th inning. Baltimore 4, Detroit 3. That game is in the last of the 7th. And Mickey Stanley has just homered in the 7th inning to tie it up. And the pitch on the way, fouled out of play by Bud Harrelson. Baltimore 4, Detroit 4. Tigers sitting in the last of the 7th. Two-two delivery and a drive in the air to right field. Callison coming in. He'll have to play it on the hop, a base hit. He throws to second, but not in time. And Grody just did to get to second base ahead of Callison's throw. It's a base hit for Buddy Harrelson. Grody had to hold up. He was hung up in the middle because it looked like the ball might be caught. Cubs got 1 run in the last of the 7th inning. They had the bases loaded with 1 out, but had to settle for 1 run. Joe Gibbon came in to face Billy Williams, and Billy Williams lined out. Nolan Ryan is the batter. He's up for the first time. Phils look for the sacrifice bunt. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Now the pitch. Bunted, fouled on the first baseline. In the 10th inning at Fenway Park, Del Unser has homered for Washington, putting the Senators ahead of the Red Sox 3-2 in the top of the 10th. They go to the 9th inning in Cincinnati with the Atlanta Braves leading the Reds by a score of 7-3. Last of the 9th inning in St. Louis, Montreal ahead 3-0. Now Ryan squares around, bunts, third bunt toward the mound. It's going to be a base hit. The ball went between Richie Allen and the pitcher Billy Champion. The base is loaded and nobody out. A beautiful bunt by Nolan Ryan. He put it between Allen, who was charging up toward home, and the pitcher, Billy Champion. By the time they reached the ball, no need to throw. Ryan was on first base with a bunt single. George Myatt, the manager of the Phils, coming out to the mound. Dick Farrell is coming in from the bullpen. For Farrell, this will be his 41st appearance of the year. The big veteran right-hander has won 3 and lost 4. He has quite a lifetime record against New York, 10 wins and 4 losses. And while the pitching change is being made, we'll pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WKAJ-FM, Saratoga Springs, New York. 102.3 on your FM dial, the home of the New York Mets.
Nelson and Ralph Kiner were in the bottom half of the eighth inning. New York in front 5-3. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Turk Farrell is coming in to replace Billy Champion. The Mets were held at 2 hits the first 5 innings by Billy Champion, but they got 2 hits in the 6th inning, 3 more in the 7th, and they have 3 now in the 8th inning for a total of 9 base hits. Billy Champion walked 6 and struck out 8. He threw a lot of pitches this ball game. So Turk Farrell, veteran of many a Major League Baseball campaign, is brought on in relief. At Wrigley Field, the game is in the top of the 8th inning. Pittsburgh leading Chicago 4-3. Joe Gibbon is now pitching in relief of Bob Moose. Bill Regan has come on in the 8th inning, replacing Dick Selma. Manny Sanguillen hit a 2-run homer to put the Pirates in front in the 6th inning. They are in the 9th inning at Cincinnati. The Braves lead the Reds 7-3. Cecil Upshaw replaced Ron Reed in the 6th inning. The Reds have called on George Culver, Clay Carroll, Dennis Rybat, and Wayne Granger. The Pirates are out in the 8th inning. And now the Cubs are batting in the last of the 8th inning. It is still 4-3. But the Pirates have brought Twiggy into the ballgame, the slender right-hand relief pitcher, Chuck Hartenstein. Montreal leading St. Louis 3-0 in the last of the 9th inning on a 3-run homer by Rusty Staub. And the Giants lead the Astros 6-1 at the end of 4 in Houston. The Dodger game just underway. The Dodgers did not score off Al Santoriti in the first. Now the Phillies bring the infield in with the bases loaded, nobody out. And the batter is Tommy Agee. The windup by Farrell and the pitch. High on a fastball, ball 1. Tommy Agee has been on base 3 times out of 4. He hit his 25th home run of the year in the first inning, bounced into a force play in the second, and walked in the 5th and walked in the 7th. Tommy hitting .279. And the pitch on the way, outside and high, ball 2. He has no place to put him. Jim Gosker has come out on the on-deck circle to bat for Wayne Garrett. Gosker, who just joined the Mets from Tidewater of the International League when the Tidewater season ended. Here's the pitch on the way. Line drive, base hit to left field by Tommy Agee. Brody scores. Rounding third and heading home is Buddy Harrelson. And the Mets have opened up a 4-run lead. 7-3 New York as Agee delivers again. Tommy's 3rd RBI of this ball game. He now has 70 runs batted in. He is only 2 behind his buddy, the team leader, Cleon Jones. Now Jim Gosker will make his debut with the New York Mets. Gosker has been in the major leagues before in the American League with the Red Sox, Kansas City, and he started this year at Seattle. The Mets got Gosker in a trade in the middle of the summer for Greg Goosson. And Gosker went to Tidewater and had a great year at Tidewater. In 58 games at Tidewater, he hit .341. Had a high foul pop-up coming back toward the crowd out of play. Mets now lead 7-3 in the last of the 8th inning. Pitch by Farrell, outside and high. 1 ball and 1 strike. At Tidewater in 58 games, Jim Gosker hit .341. He played 12 games at Vancouver in the Coast League, the Seattle farm, and hit .462. At a high infield pop-up. They invoke the infield fly ruling, and the second baseman Harmon comes in to grab it near the mound. Runners on first and second. Now 1 man away, and the batter coming up is Don Clendenin. Don had a key hit in the last inning, a single to right field. The time he came up with a base hit, the Mets were a run behind. Jack DeLauro throwing easily in the Mets bullpen. And it's high to Don Clendenin. In addition to Jack DeLauro, Les Rohr is warming up in the bullpen. Les has just joined the Mets from their Memphis farm club. Fouled back over the screen. Mets brought up 3 young pitchers from Memphis of the Texas League. Memphis won the Eastern Division of the Texas League and then won the overall championship by winning the playoffs. They brought up right-hander Bob Johnson and 2 left-handers, Jesse Hudson and Les Rohr. High to Don Clendenin. Or check that, it's over for a strike at the letters. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners on first and second. And a foul ball hit back upstairs by Don Clendenin. Nolan Ryan is on second. Nolan laid down a bunt for a base hit in a sacrifice situation to load the bases. And Tommy Agee then drove 2 runs across with a base hit. They're in the last of the 8th inning at Chicago. Pittsburgh 4, Chicago 3. High, Clendenin lets it go. It's all over in Cincinnati. The Atlanta Braves have beaten Cincinnati 7-3. Ron Reed, the winner. George Culver, the loser. Henry Aaron had the only home run of the game. For Aaron, his 39th of the year. He now has 549. It's 2-2 on Don Clendenin. And the pitch on the way. It's high, ball 3. Well, in the 8th inning at Chicago, ex-Met Jim Hickman has just hit a 2-run homer. And the Cubs go in front 5-4. For Hickman, his 18th home run of the year. He has certainly helped the Cubs. So Hickman's 2-run homer has put Chicago in front 5-4. Fouled off the end of the bat by Don Clendenin. Count stays 3-2. Chuck Hartenstein took over the pitching in the last of the 8th inning and yielded the 2-run homer to Jim Hickman. Right here with 1 away, runners on first and second. 3-2 to Don Clendenin. And a check swing grounder that is fouled on the first baseline. The Mets leading by a score of 7-3. Mets have scored 5 of their 7 runs in the last 3 innings. Nolan Ryan leading off second, Agee off first. Low and outside, ball 4. Clendenin walks, loading the bases, and it brings up Rod Gasper. For Rod Gasper, this will be his first time up at the game. George Myatt is going to the mound, and we're going to get a pitching change. This is going to be all for Turk Farrell, and we'll have a new pitcher coming in to face Rod Gasper. Rod is a switch hitter. Looks like right-hander John Boozer coming in from the bullpen. So Farrell is going to leave the ball game after facing 3 hitters. He gave up a single to Tommy Agee, retired Jim Gosker on a pop-up, but walked Don Clendenin. So he will get credit for 1/3 of an inning. At the moment, he has allowed no runs and 1 hit. Walked 1 and struck out none. John Boozer is coming in for Boozer, his 34th game. He has won 1 and lost 2. Boozer has been in relief throughout the season. Made only 1 start. That was against the Giants on the 5th of August. They go to the ninth inning at Wrigley Field now. The Cubs lead Pittsburgh 5-4 on Jim Hickman's two-run homer in the eighth inning. Atlanta down to Cincinnati 7-3. Montreal shut out the St. Louis Cardinals 3-0. A five-hitter for Bill Stoneman. Rusty Staub won the game with a three-run homer, and for LeGrand Orange, his 26th home run of the year. Giants 6, Houston 1 at the end of 4.5. Ray Sadecki for the Giants. Don Wilson was knocked out. Jim Bouton has come on. The Dodgers got a run in the second inning off Al Santorini. Dodgers 1, San Diego 0 at the end of an inning and a half. Going to the seventh inning in Cleveland, it's Cleveland 3, the New York Yankees 2. Bill Burback in relief of Al Downing, and Luis Tiant pitching for the Indians. Del Unser has homered in the 10th inning at Boston, putting Washington ahead of the Red Sox 3-2 in the 10th. Baltimore and Detroit tied 4-4 there in the last of the eighth inning. Denny McClain has gone out of that game. He was bidding for his 23rd. Minnesota at Oakland, it will be Dave Boswell against Fred Talbot. Now we're ready to go. Boozer into his windup. The pitch to Gasper. Ground ball bounced slowly toward the middle into center field. A base hit. Ryan is in to score. Agee is flying home. And the Mets are out in front, 9-3. A single to center by Rod Gasper. Bringing home Nolan Ryan and Tommy Agee. The Mets have opened up a 6-run lead. And Al Weiss will be hitting for the first time. Last run across the plate charged to Turk Farrell. Runners on first and third, one man away. And the pitch to Al Weiss is off the outside corner, ball one. 4 runs have crossed the plate here in the eighth inning. On 5 hits and a walk. Mets now have 9 runs on 11 hits. And the pitch on the way, low and outside, ball 2. It's 2-0. Don Clendenin on third. And Rod Gasper is on first. Ground ball hit down to third. Taylor throws to second, 1 out. On to first, a double play to retire the side. 5-4-3. 8 men that came to bat. The Mets scored 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, 1 left on. At the end of 8 innings, the New York Mets 9 and the Philadelphia Phillies 3.
The finest in Italian cuisine and a wide array of steaks, chops, and seafood await your dining pleasure at Mangino's Restaurant, located in the south end of Saratoga Lake. But there's a big difference between just ordinary Italian or American cuisine and Mangino's fine foods. At Mangino's, your order is never prepared hours before. Mangino's realize that good food cannot be hurried, and they ask you to give them a little time to prepare it properly. All dishes are prepared to your order when your order is placed, never simmering away for hours or minutes in the kitchen. And that's the big difference at Mangino's. Why not enjoy eating Italian food the way it should be savored and dine at Mangino's Restaurant, located in the south end of Saratoga Lake at Route 9P, just 2 miles from Route 9. A complete line of Italian specialties are served to tempt the palate, and their steaks and chops and seafood are equally as delightful. If you're planning a banquet or party for up to 75 people, call Mangino's for their special party menu. They'll be happy to give you complete details. That's Mangino's Restaurant, the home of truly fine foods, Route 9P, the south end of Saratoga Lake.
For New York, Bobby File is now playing third. Jim Gosker was the pinch hitter for Wayne Garrett, and now Bobby File takes over at third. Dave Watkins leading off against Nolan Ryan. We go to the ninth. And a fastball inside, it's ball 1. At Wrigley Field, they're in the top of the ninth inning. Chicago 5, Pittsburgh 4. Now up goes the leg. Around comes the arm, and Ryan's fastball is over strike 1. 1-1. 1-1 delivery by Nolan. Inside and high, 2-1. In the bullpen, Les Rohr and Jack DeLauro are warming up. Les Rohr wanted to get some work in, so Rube Walker said, fine, wait until late in the game to do it. The 2-1 delivery, swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Nolan Ryan is the pitcher of record. That home run in the 10th inning by Del Unser won the ball game for Washington. The Senators beat the Red Sox 3-2. Casey Cox, the winner in relief, and Jim Lonborg, the loser. Lonborg went all the way. The 2-2 delivery, swing and a miss. He struck him out. First strikeout for Nolan Ryan. He got him with Ryan's Express. Ryan has retired. 6 of 7 batters to face him, and Don Money comes up. Money, right-handed batting shortstop, takes inside, ball 1. Cookie Rojas has come out on deck as a pinch hitter. Now a fastball in for a call, strike, 1-1. Now Ryan sights in, but misses inside with his quick one. It's 2 balls and a strike. Well, clear of the decks for action. The Cubs are here tomorrow night. Jerry Kuzman against Bill Hens. Fouled back toward the crowd. Still keeping an eye on that scoreboard, hoping the Pirates might erupt for a couple of runs. Chicago grabbed the lead for the first time on Jim Hickman's 2-run homer in the last of the 8th inning. 1 out and nobody on. The pitch by Nolan Ryan, way up high. He has to duck under it. It's 3-2. Three-2 delivery. Too high, ball 4. Money reaches on a walk. Now Cookie Rojas will be coming up as a pinch hitter. Cookie Rojas, the pinch batter. Rojas sitting at 229 on the year. Mets lead 9-3. Scoring 7 of their 9 runs in the last 3 innings. Mets tied the game in the 6th inning and took the lead in the 7th. Now a fastball over, strike 1 call. Nolan Ryan on in relief. Delivers. Foul ball back. Right against our broadcasting booth, no play. Now Ryan with a 2-strike count. He checks the runner at first base and the pitch on the way. Curve is foul. Back toward the screen, no play. Stadium shadows reaching out as far as the pitching mound. We have had a hot, humid day for the ball game. Mets unleashing a 9-run, 11-hit attack. Big game for Tommy Agee and Art Shamsky. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a high hard one. Nolan Ryan's second strikeout. Now 9-3 New York. 2 down in the top of the 9th inning. Pirates are at bat in the 9th inning at Wrigley Field with the Cubs in front 5-4. Terry Harmon, the leadoff batter, looks at a fastball. Strike 1 call. Fouled back into the screen. Nolan Ryan with a 2-strike count on Terry Harmon. 2 outs, 9th inning, 1 man on. Mets tied the ball game up in the 6th inning and went in front in the 7th. Now a foul back into the screen. And they opened it up by getting 4 runs in the 8th inning. Harlan Killebrew has hit his 41st home run of the year, a 3-run homer. In the very first inning, hitting Minnesota ahead of Oakland 3-0. Twins have a 7.5 game lead in the Western Division of the American League. Are out at the top of the ninth inning. In the last of the ninth inning with the ball game tied 5-5. And a blue right field, a base hit for Terry Harmon. And holding up Don Money. It brings up Tony Taylor. Quick rest and good eyes. Speed, hustle, and a good arm. Now those are the signs of a great ball player. The sign of a great beer. The Rheingold 10-minute head. The head that stays up. Here goes that. The Rheingold 10-minute head. Two times again. Tony Taylor, 2 hits and 4 times at bat. 2 outs and 2 on. Top of the ninth. Mets lead 9-3. Fastball down the middle. Strike 1 call. For Nolan Ryan, his third really worked. Pitching from the stretch. A slam that goes foul down the right field line. Swerves back up into the crowd. And now Ryan has a 2-strike advantage facing Tony Taylor. Ryan working hard trying to get Tony Taylor. He does not want to have to face Richie Allen. Pirates and Cubs tied 5-5, bottom half of the ninth inning in Chicago. Stein pitching in relief for the Pirates. Swing and a miss. The ball game is over. The Mets win it. Nolan Ryan struck out the side in the ninth inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. The Mets come from behind to win it and take 3 out of 4 in the weekend set with Philadelphia. Final score: the New York Mets 9 and the Philadelphia Phillies 3.
It's nothing new. It costs money to brew a great beer. It cost money back in 1837. It costs money today. Rheingold started brewing beer in this country in 1837, using the finest ingredients money could buy. And even though things cost a lot more today, Rheingold's still buying those same high-quality ingredients. The finest malt, choice imported and domestic hops. Costly ingredients that give Rheingold its great extra dry flavor. And its proud 10-minute head.
Rye beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Ask for Rheingold whenever you buy beer. Rheingold's head stays so high. Rheingold's brewed extra dry. Won't you try extra dry Rheingold beer?
The Rheingold 10-minute head. Haven't you timed it yet? Rheingold Breweries, New York and Orange, New Jersey.
Today at Shea Stadium, the New York Mets 9 and the Philadelphia Phillies 3. The Mets winning the series 3-1 and standing by now, hoping to gain a game on Chicago. The Cubs and Pirates tied 5-5 at the last of the ninth inning at Wrigley Field. The worst the Mets can be is 3.5 games out when the Cubs arrive tomorrow night. Should the Pirates win that ball game in extra innings, the Mets would be just 2.5 games back. And only 3 weeks ago, on August 13th, the Mets were 9.5 games back. New York took the early lead in this ball game today on home runs by Tommy Agee, his 25th, and Art Shamsky, his 12th. The Mets leading 2-1 at the end of 1 inning as a result of the home runs. But the Phillies scored twice to take the lead 3-2 with Richie Allen and Johnny Callison driving the runs home. The Mets tied the game in the 6th inning with Bud Harrelson driving home the tying run. Art Shamsky drove in what proved to be the winning run with a sacrifice fly in the 7th inning. Shamsky had 2 RBIs in the ball game, and Tommy Agee had 3. Ken Boswell also drove a run home in the 7th inning with a base hit. Boswell has 17 hits in his last 35 times at bat. The Mets were ahead 5-3 when they came in to hit in the last of the 8th inning. Base hits by Grody, Harrelson, and Nolan Ryan loaded the bases, and Tommy Agee came through with a hard single to left field, driving 2 runs home. And before the inning was over, Rod Gasper, in his only time at bat in the ballgame, singled up the middle, driving 2 more runs across the plate. The combined pitching of Gary Gentry and Nolan Ryan propelling the Mets to the triumph. Gentry worked 6 innings and left the game for a pinch hitter with a score tie. Gary in 6 allowed 3 runs, 8 hits, walked 1, and struck out 6. Nolan Ryan in 3 innings allowed no runs, 2 hits, walked only 1, and struck out 3. Line score, New York 9 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, and 8 left. Philadelphia 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and 8 left. Nolan Ryan, the winner, is now 5-1, and Billy Champion, the loser, has won 5 and lost 8.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to jump off this bridge.
Hold on.
Look, pal, now it's an ugly world, and I'm going to go.
Don't tell me. I stood right where you're standing just last month.
What?
I was going to jump, too. Then I thought to myself, jumping from a bridge is kind of squirrely. Real people don't jump from bridges.
No kidding. So what did you do?
I tried to think of the most subtle, inconspicuous, sophisticated way out.
Yeah, and what was that? Huh?
I started smoking cigarettes.
Oh, cigarettes? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got class. You know? Have you got a cigarette for me?
Sure. One of the new long ones. They're fantastic. Have you ever thought about increasing your life insurance?
No. As a matter of fact, I haven't.
I know a little place a few blocks from here. Nice Italian foods. We could talk, smoke a lot, you know.
Hey, good, yeah.
This message was brought to you by your American Cancer Society.
New York Mets Baseball has been a feature presentation of the New York Mets Baseball Network and Rheingold Extra Dry, the beer with a 10-minute head, and was brought to you by several local sports-minded businessmen who hope you have enjoyed today's game, and by the staff of WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial, who urge you to patronize the sponsors to make these broadcasts possible. Remember, you can hear all the New York Mets games at home or away, night and day, on the FM voice of WKAJ Radio in Saratoga Springs, New York. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.